Welcome in and thanks for joining today's Stream Elements. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Freikberg. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Royal_. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Rugmatbot. Welcome in and thanks for joining today SMC_May_I. Welcome in and thanks for joining today SMC Mai. The ad is starting now and will go for 180 seconds. Thank you for the 87 long months of subscribing Dian08.
You don't remember this request for time off from streaming. That's because there was never a request. Rugmatbot, hello. From responding to Royalisi. Royalisi, good to see you. May, you are worried. What are you worried about? Rackberg, yay. I was starting to worry. A worry if there's going to be a stream. You know, the thought crossed my mind. I'm not going to lie. It's been very busy. In anticipation of being away too. So worried about what the title means. Oh, the title means I'm just gonna be away. Sorry for that, May. That's all that means. I'm going to visit family back in Nueva York. All right. I think I'm all set up. Still only 2 cameras. Okay. I'm just gonna have to deal with the chat. The house is in flux still anyway, let alone my office. So. Boom, boom. Oh, okay. So time away, not time ceased. Right. What did I put the title as? Now you got me wondering. Last stream for a bit. Yeah, for a bit. Because so here's the reason why. Well, we'll get into it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh boy, it's time. Oh, I didn't do the music in my ears the way it needs to be. Here we go. Anybody get that reference? It's actually from a movie, but from The Office. Ah! Where's Bauer? It disappeared. Oh, I should put the light on actually, huh?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Dian08.
Look into my eyes. Yeah. Oh, went away.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Clarkio.
Thanks for having me. Ha ha ha. Woo! All right. How we doing? How we doing? What's happening? May, thank you for redeeming a Matrix movement. Good to see you all. Roy Lacey, Rugmat Bot minus Rugmat, May, Clarkio, Frackberg.
Wants you to hydrate.
Oh, hydrate. Cheers. Delicious. And Shawnee, thank you for the 87 freaking months resub. 87 in a row. One of the founders and OGs. I know you said you don't remember this request for time off from streaming, but that's because there was none. Frackberg, yes, Caddyshack. So I know I wasn't here last week. I'm here this week. We gotta be grateful for what we have, chat. Okay, and we have this week. We have right now. That's all we ever have in life. Just right now, right here. Beard brush. And all we have is right here, right now. Lesson in life. Right at the top of the stream for you all, okay? I was curious what happened last week. I didn't see any announcement. Also cute. Thanks. It's because it was in Discord, right, Lacey? It was in Discord. I was planning to stream last week, but I didn't realize the other plans that we had. We were having family over for the 4th, and we had my in-laws staying with us, and we had stuff going on. I was grilling. We had a good 4th. It's been nice. Don't worry, I put in a request to management to get 24/7 Clarkio streams. I mean, that could happen. There's a possibility of that. I have plenty of content that I could just play 24/7 over and over again. I checked Discord. I suppose I must have missed it. Oh, but glad to hear it was all right. Yes, thanks for Lacey. All right. I'm not much of a soda person, but I've been having Coke lately because of a little extra caffeine kick. Really just didn't want to explain the dance to his father-in-law. I think he's actually seen it before. But you're not far off, really, Frackberg. No, we just had a lot. We've had a lot going on, chat. I'm feeling very stressed and overwhelmed. I'm trying to balance family stuff, things breaking, going wrong, work, and preparing for the trip to go visit family next week. So me and Mrs. Clarkio have been kind of losing our minds. I'm not going to lie. But we're doing good. We're good. They're like, it's not like there are far worse things that could be happening. It's just, there's a lot on the plate. You're feeling overwhelmed. And sometimes your body, mind, struggles with that. And I feel like that's fair. But I try to remind myself that there are worse things that I could be dealing with right now, So shall we go through all of it? One win I would say is our refrigerator is working again in the sense of it was working in terms of cooling and its main purpose. Its extracurricular activity of providing water and ice to us had stopped, which was not the end of the world either, but also a pain because we needed to have that fixed before we had someone come and watch Bauer while we were going to be away and they're going to be staying in the house. That's the main way that people access water in our house to drink from, because we don't drink from the faucet. That's a whole nother thing we can discuss about water quality in the United States and how that can be questionable in some places and even more so in other places. So we like to have filtered water, but from, provided by the city, not having to go buy bottled water all the time. So anyway, fun story about that. Remind me to tell you about that. But that's one win of the week. Actually, what am I doing? Hello, welcome into the Clarkio Shenanigans Show. We just jumped right into the beginning of it. Right into the wins of the week. I'm your host, Clarkio. I stream mostly on Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Summer hours, though. What can I say? If you want to stay connected for any updates to the schedule, the best place to do that is in the Discord. That's where I'm most active. !Discord in the chat to get the link there, or you could just go straight up to my website, clarkio.com/discord. There you go. What do we do here on the Clarkio Shenanigans Show? We start off just chatting and talking about wins of the week. If you don't know what that is, ! WOTW in the chat to find out more. But basically, let's celebrate positive things that happen. It force you to exercise thinking about and reflecting on the past week to find some positive in it, big or small. really impactful or slightly improvement to things, whatever it may be. Feel free to share it with us and we'll celebrate as a community together. That's how we started off, okay? Then we get into me playing Wordle, where I gotta compete against you all. You don't want to give me the answer, basically. I'll get into the details of that when we get to that segment of the show. Play connections together, and then we've been working on the Words on Stream tool and making improvements to that while playing Words on Stream. So any or all that interests you, I hope you stick around and hang out. If not, maybe I'll see you in a future stream that's of more interest, on a topic that's more interesting to you. If you do decide to leave, have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. All right, for those of you that are still here, though, wins of the week. So I was talking refrigerator. It stopped dispensing water and then making ice. And then I did a lot of research over Saturday and Sunday, probably a total of 8 hours between the 2 days, I would say I spent on this. YouTube and ChatGPT and, and then trying to fix things and getting a part delivered to my house. Thankfully, it came quick enough. Long story short with that, I fixed it, but I also needed somebody else to come out to fix my mistakes, which was a very dumb mistake. So remind me to tell you that when we have more time. What else is a win? We had family visit. We had a good 4th. The kids had a blast. Hung out in the pool. Did the typical grilling, all that stuff. Seeing fireworks. And that was nice. Good quality time with the family. So that's another win. What else? Trying to reflect on the positive, because a lot of the negative is coming to mind right now of what happened this week and what's going on.
And thanks for joining today, Fushero.
Frank, how are you doing, buddy? I saw you posted a video. I was very happy to see that. What's happening with you, Frank? What's your win of the week? Chad, get your wins of the week queued up in there if you want. I still love you. Thank you. I love you too, Frank. I miss working with you, dude. For real. It was always a pleasure, always positive and happy. So, and I very much appreciate that about you. And I still have, like fond memories of getting to meet you in person when we, what was it, out in Seattle and stuff like that, man. I do think back on that quite a bit. So yeah, what else? Wins of the week. Refrigerator, good family time. Kids are doing well. Next week, I'm going to be going to New York to visit my parents and my side of the family. And we're going to have other family that's going to be in town. We're going to be able to see other friends that we're going to be able to see we haven't seen in a while. So I'm very much looking forward to that. That will be a win of the week next week. That is why the title is what it says. So next week so next Friday and the following Friday, I will still be there. So it's going to be 2 weeks, 2 streams that will be missed, but I'll be back by the 3rd week. So it's gonna be 3 weeks from now before you'll see me again, is what I'm getting at, chat. That's why it's saying last stream for a bit, because typically anytime I'm gone or I miss a stream, it's only for 1 stream. This time it's gonna be for 2. On that note though, win of the week, I got 2 videos recorded. I got to record 1 more, but I'll be here Monday at least. And I have some stuff in the works with that. I have a 3rd video recorded, but I'm not too keen on it as a topic, on whether I like it or not. So I might record something else in the middle of that. What else? I'm healthy. I'm doing well. Ooh, a loss of the week. I did not do two gym sessions this week. So I broke that streak. I'm very bummed about that, but I can make it up potentially by just doing like not going to that gym, but doing like an at-home type of run around the neighborhood exercise for 30 minutes or something. So I'll see about doing that to keep it up. But it's been that hectic that like I missed that. What am I supposed to do with myself, Sean? I mean, I'll still be around in Discord. We can share wins of the week each Friday, next Friday and the following Friday. We can see how I do with Wordle. Can compete in Wordle and stuff like that. We'll stay connected still. May says that will be in August. Yeah. Oh wow, it's gonna be August then. come back. Yeah. Oh wow, it'll be August 1st. So I'll literally only stream one time in July. So about that. It is what it is. You know? But I think after this, there are no other planned travel arrangements. So barring any potential, you know, what was I gonna say? I was reading two things and scatterbrain. Chat, I'm gonna give you a heads up too on this. My mind is all over the place because of like the amount of things that are on my mind and on my shoulders right now. So words and like and expressing myself may be disjointed and a struggle today. So that's that. Extenuating circumstance. Yeah, barring any extenuating circumstance. What I mean by that is like maybe there's a reason that like for work I have to like kind of like what happened back in April or May when I had to go to a conference for work. So we'll see. There shouldn't be any need for that as of right now, but there could be potentially. I don't know. Lots is changing. Work is changing. I told you all we had layoffs, right? Thankfully, I was not impacted. It was very much a bummer, but we are shifting. We are shifting. We are an AI security company. We are like all in on AI. So there's a lot going on with that. Yes, Frank, I can understand you being very familiar with that. AI, yes, exactly. What else? I'm really like, I'm not looking forward to flying, but I'm looking forward to seeing family and friends. We've been having work done at the house too. There's gonna be more that's being done today. Not really the best time. We probably should have put it off, honestly, but it is what it is, and it's getting done. We got the old house all ready. That's a win, actually. The old house is done, and we're completely out of it, and it's cleaned up and ready to go, type of thing. So that's exciting, and of like weight off the shoulders type of thing. It'll be even more weight off the shoulders when I don't have to pay for anything for that. What else? What else, chat? Let me read yours. Maybe that'll spark some bad Clarkio. Me talking as if you would remember what position. Is it managerial above senior? Would say the title, but it's too early. Win of the week. Actually, so Riley C, win of the week. Thank you for sharing, Riley C. Actually went into the position. It actually hasn't been that bad though. Damn, could hardly do my job this past week. Oh, and also haven't had an issue the past fortnight with you know what, with poison. That's good. Good. 2 more streams and I will have 45. Dang, May. Thank you for that continued support that way. Riley C, I'm glad to hear all that. Thank you for sharing. Congrats on your wins. What else we got? Frackberg's win of the week. Did not die in my second triple T last night. This one had 2 short climbs in it. Yikes. I'm glad you got through that, though. And I'm glad to see you still, you know, pushing yourself, man. Congrats on that. Thank you for sharing. I think Sean had one too, right? Where was Sean's? Sean A says, my fiance is here and we went to see Superman with work last night. That's awesome. Congrats on that. Does that mean you're watching the stream with your fiance? Did your fiance see the intro dance? You really, listen, you should not show them that intro dance, and instead show like one of the real ones. That one's worth it. She's reading it. I'm working. Okay, but she can hear you. Oh, okay. Hi, Sean's fiance. Congratulations. I was in the video, by the way. May says not a win yet. Still need 2 more streams. Hopefully it will happen. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I forget not everyone bikes. Team time trial. Sorry. Okay, got you. Thank you, Freckberg, for clarifying that. Releases. I'm starting to worry how real that is because even here that became the trend. No one drinks from the tap water. I mean, I'm being overly cautious. Plus, I have 2 young kids. We probably could drink from the tap water that comes to the house, but you know, I'm just being extra cautious and paranoid. I mean, I think a lot of you know this by now about me. I'm a pretty paranoid person. I'll admit it. Am I proud of it? Sometimes, but not really. What else did I miss in chat? Will there be a refrigerator repair streams included? Listen, you all can keep pushing for that. It's just not. It's already done and happened. I think like, I don't know. How could I do, like, I can't. In my mind, like, the dryer stream was such a, like, moment in my streaming history that, like, for me to try and do another stream related to appliance repair, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. That would take away from the nostalgia. You know? Or maybe that's just an excuse I'm making. What do you think, chat? What do you think? I need a flare for was here for the dry. Yes. Yeah, right? I don't know if you beat that. Yeah, exactly, Frank. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know if I can beat the dryer stream. That was a, like, one of a kind stream. You know what? Let me see if I can get the VOD for that so that the folks that weren't here for it can really grasp, like, why we keep bringing this up. Is there a way I should make a command for it, honestly, if I do have it. Can I search these live videos? Oh, I don't know if I have them all public, though. I have the clip. This is a clip from it. Let me show you the clip from it real quick. Hold on. I at least have this. I know I have the VOD somewhere, likely, but...
Hi. How's your Sunday going?
It was a Sunday. That was what the heck? That was 3 years ago. 2,100 views on that short, too. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Oh, yeah. Then somebody wrote a long thing on there. They like responded like, my Sunday's going like this type of thing. Because I asked in the video, how's your Sunday going? I guess that just triggered something for that person. Which I hope it helped. Seems like it did. Wow, 3 years? I might need another hobby. Look at that baby face. Oh yeah, that baby face. Yeah. Crazy how much can change 3 years ago, I guess, huh? That's wild. I'm sorry. I'm like staring at my face a little bit here. What I used to look like with this. I do think it would be... I'd like to think. But maybe it's one of those things... what's that? I don't even know what the word is. It's one of those things where you're blind to your own faults or something like that. But I'd like to think if I shaved my beard, I would look pretty close to that still. Like, I would probably look years younger than I actually am again. So, I like to think that. 3 years and a new family and new family members later. Yeah, right. I've gotten very used to bearded Clarkio, kind of forget pre-beard. Mrs. Clarkio feels the same way. Crackberg. You and her both. In the same category. I've gotten used to bearded me too. I don't know if I could go back because it was such a pain to get to this point that it's like, do I really want to have to go? Like if I go back and I'm like, I want to have a beard again, I have to go through the pain of growing it out again. Maybe it'll be easier the second time around. I don't know, but I don't want to take that chance right now. You know? All right, I think I'm mostly caught up on chat from earlier in the stream. Yeah, I'm all caught up on the earlier message at the beginning of the stream. Ooh, how about I was here for dual bot frustration? Of course, we need chair 20 pound. Yeah. There's a lot of history here. You're reminding me of all that, and I'm glad you're keeping track of it because I don't remember this shit. All right, YouTube video for Monday has been scheduled and prepared, so we're all good for next week. Gotta get the next one. The next one is pretty much done. That one, so it's like, I'm sorry, I'm switching to work really quick. You've been here too much? I mean, you say that like it's a bad thing. I very much appreciate that, Frackberg. So, it says, BRB, let me get refill my water with faucet water. I always drink from my faucet. No worries. I mean, go for it, May. I'm happy for you that you feel comfortable doing that and that like where you're at, that works for you. You're having fun with flare ideas? I noticed yours was nerd. Where'd you get that? In Discord. You're talking about Discord flare things? Like May has Boga for Kit Boga. You had nerd. How do you get that one? I like that one. What does it say? Nerd Forge makes stuff, cosplay props are. Oh, okay, cool. I see now. It doesn't show you that on mobile because I saw your message when it was on mobile. Your favorite part of the week, even if I don't get to participate as much. Oh, thank you, Frackberg. I appreciate that, man. That really does mean a lot hearing that type of stuff because if it wasn't for messages like that, I don't know that I would keep streaming. I mean, I really do enjoy streaming, but part of the reason why I enjoy streaming is I know you all get enjoyment out of it that say stuff like that. So I'm like, gotta be here for my people. Martina makes cool stuff on YouTube. I got you. Okay. It's my favorite. I read that already. All right. So let me tell you about the refrigerator. Unless anybody else has more wins of the week, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll interrupt my story by after that, actually. So it was like July 4th of July. It might have been the next day. I think it was Saturday, July 5th. The refrigerator water stopped dispensing. Also, a little fun fact, Mrs. Clarkio is like a water, like, I mean, of course, right? Like, we're human beings, we need water, but she's like she gets water anxiety if she doesn't have enough water around her available at any given moment. Okay. So when that goes out, I'm like, oh, I got to get on this ASAP. I can't let that linger type of thing. Whereas other projects around the house that go wrong, I'll be like, yeah, okay. Thank you for making me aware of that. Well, it'll get fixed. Just when it gets fixed is another story. So I immediately jumped into it, and basically what I came to the conclusion that the reason that was happening is one of the valves in the refrigerator was busted. It went bad. It goes on the other to-do list. Exactly, Frank. Exactly. So if you're not familiar with if you have a refrigerator that dispenses water for you, if you're not familiar with how that works, every refrigerator differs, obviously, but if you have one that makes ice and water, or makes ice and water, dispenses water and makes ice. Oh yeah. Well, I don't do that. I mean, this is as torso shot as you're going to get, but thank you, May, for the reminder. When the refrigerator dispenses water and or makes ice, a lot of times it'll just make ice and not dispense water. You have to have a water line come from behind the refrigerator, like out of the wall, from your piping in your house or apartment, wherever you are, your domicile, and feed into the refrigerator, and then it goes into the refrigerator's tubing system that it has in there. So the initial entry point into the back of the refrigerator, there's typically a valve there, is what I've learned. Okay. And then that valve will be triggered by however your refrigerator is configured. So if you're like mine, where it makes ice and water, the ice machine might trigger it to turn on and let water come in from the wall, or you triggering the water dispenser, pushing your cup against the refrigerator, thing that dispenses the water, will cause the water to come out. Each of those, though, not each of those. Well, it could be this way, but mine is there's another valve that's in the air, like behind on the door where the water dispenses on it. You know what? This might be a good opportunity to bring up paint. Let's do a little paint, a little painting, a little pirate software situation. Okay. Are we ready, chat? I haven't done this in a while. All right. Water. Let's see how good I am at writing source with my mouse. Source, right? It's like little pop-up valve. Okay, this is the key part of the story. I might have made this too big. I'm gonna have to move this out a bit, like oh my goodness. We can't have light mode. We have to have dark mode. All right, so we have a water source, right? This is coming out of the wall. And then there's a tube that connects to this, and it goes okay, and here's the refrigerator. This is the fridge. My roommate in college made fun of me when I said fridge and I spelt it like this. And I was like, what? He's native to Florida and he had never heard anyone call it or spell it fridge. He's heard people say fridge, but he never, I don't know what it was. Oh, why is it zoomed in? My bad. This is clearly a highly technical drawing. Exactly. So, right, it comes in here. This part, there's like a little, I don't know how to put it, but like a contraption, like a little device. This is a valve called the inlet valve. INLET. Inlet. Because it's letting in the water, right? Did it zoom in again? I keep clicking that by accident. This is what happens when I'm drawing. Okay. That's how I've always felt. Yeah, right? Like, what's wrong with that? I mean, it's short for it's really hard to write like this. Generator. My whole monitor. Oops. I was like trying to, you know what I mean? Like that. It's really hard to write fast. My whole monitor starts shaking when I do that. My fridge makes ice and dispenses water, but the water is not filtered, so straight up tap water that has been chilled. That's fine too, yeah. All right, so this is the inlet valve, okay? This, and I'm just gonna do it based on my refrigerator right now. It has, this is all, so the inlet valve's like within the bottom portion of the refrigerator, but then there's the pipe tube that comes out the back, and then it splits off into two essentially. Well, no, it doesn't do it there, but some of them it does that. But it goes up through the back, through here.
Today, Code with CN.
What's up, Coach John? You're joining at a perfect time. I'm talking about my refrigerator repair that happened. Okay. Maybe I should make that blue so we can see that this is like the water. All right, so we got water source, right? It's going through here, and then it's gonna go up into here. It goes like this, and then it's gonna come down. I think sometimes it'll basically they configure it one way or the other depending on how the brand does it, right? And the type of features that you have on your refrigerator. Either goes up through the top and down the top hinge of the door, or it goes through the bottom and up. I believe mine go because like there's tubing that goes up here, so I think it goes through the top. Yes, it does. What am I saying? I saw it. It goes through the top and then it goes down the door hinge into another valve thingy. I don't know what kind of name you want to call this valve, but this is another valve. did it again. I know. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Another valve. Okay. This is now where they're here. Okay. Hold on.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today's early death.
Okay, who was that? Surly Dev. Hey, you will be able to tell. Look on the back of the fridge, and there will be a joint that is easy to disconnect for when you want to. Yeah, exactly. Good to see you, Surly Dev, and Coach Sean. Thank you for being here. What's your wins of the weeks if you got one to share? I'm recalling now. My memory is just not working in the moment. It does go through the top hinge on the left door for me. Okay, and so then it goes down through the hinge into the back of the door, behind things, behind shelves and whatnot, and like on the inside of it, right? And then into this valve. Or, well, technically there's the filter. So we should really erase. Where's my eraser? Uh-oh. Remove objects generatively. Ah! I'm not good at this. I need to practice my MS Paint work here. I need to paint that black though. What am I doing? Let's just fill it. Oh my gosh. That didn't work. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Why is it still white? Oh, because I'm erasing. Oh no. Can I erase with black? Nope. My win of the week actually over the last 2 weeks. Paid off mortgage and mole thing on my temple is not cancer. Dude, those are 2 huge wins of the week. Congrats on that, Sean. Wow. Big wins. Very happy for you. Thank you for sharing too. Oh, what? What in the heck? Just let me paint. How do I make the size of this bigger? Oh. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to draw with that. All right. So the water, way too big now. Comes in through here. And it actually goes under and up. And then we have El Filter. Okay, we're going to call this the filter. Put a little arrow onto that. What? No, that's not what I want. I can't just draw an arrow? Where's like just a standard arrow, dude? That I can point in any direction. I can't rotate this? Oh my gosh, what is going on, Paint? MS Paint. All right, so make this a little smaller again. It's a filter. Oh my gosh. Okay, you get the idea, right? Then the little blue water goes into a reservoir, actually. Okay, and that bad boy actually fills up with the water. And the idea with that is so that you can get the water quickly and it's already been chilled instead of it, coming through the line fresh from the wall. It could be kind of like lukewarm, which is I personally, I don't mind lukewarm water. I'm happy to just have water like that. Plus I hear that you can digest that better, but I might be wrong. So what'd you say? They had to remove the doors to get my mom's fridge into the kitchen. I got them to show me. Oh, that's cool. It's cool to learn that. That's what I was saying. Oh, I ended up having an appliance guy come and I talked him through everything I did and all that. And I was telling him that, like, because I hate standing over people while they're working. I know what that feels like. You know what I mean? Like, even when it's not like a pressure situation where it's like a boss that's like, are you doing your work type of thing? Like even just a colleague that like is watching you code or something, it can be a little like pressure inducing. So I don't like doing that to people when they come to work at my house. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be over here. If you need me, just yell out type of thing, you know? But in this case, I was like, hey, I really like learning this stuff. And as you know, you could tell, I just told you I went through trying to figure things out myself and I want to work with you on this. And he was pretty cool about it. So anyway, yep. What else did we see? Coach One says, another win of the week from last time my user group met. Surly Dev visited the group even though it was really late for him. It was great having him. That's awesome. I'm glad you two got to meet each other in person. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that as well. That's a win for both of you, huh? That's not how you define a win, says Surly Dev. I think so. You like your cold water from your Brita filter? Well, it's funny. That's good. Good for you, Sean. I'm happy for you. Mrs. Clarkio is like that as well. And I considered getting that if we didn't find a solution quick enough. Frackler says, don't mind the lukewarm. Not sure we can be friends anymore. Really? Wow. I didn't realize people were so adamant about this. I mean, I knew Mrs. Clarkio was, but I didn't know it was like a big thing beyond that. You tipped the guy for showing you? Yeah, nice. Yeah, I tipped this guy as well. He was super kind and like willing to work with me on it. So I usually say stuff like, I find this fascinating. Do you mind if I watch? Yeah. Because, you know, like if you don't say that and you're just standing over them, then it feels like they're being, you know, analyzed everything they're doing. You know, I know what that could feel like. I know that's not going to be a good feeling if you don't know the context of why somebody's standing over you while you're working, you know? We didn't meet in person. The user group is virtual. Oh, okay. Well, that's still cool. I'm glad to hear that you two got to meet. Okay. All right, where was I? So the water goes into the filter. Then it goes into this reservoir to keep the water cool within the door. And then it goes into the valve. Oops. Oh, I need it to be white, right? Or we'll do the blue. Blue goes into... Oh my gosh, Bauer. Bow. Relax. Come here. His bed's right behind me. Come lay down. Come on. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy. You did good. Good boy. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Stay there. Power shot. Ready? Oh, no. I turned the camera off. Sorry. I'm not going to do that. Sean says hi. Sean says hi. You're not going to say hi back? Oh. There you go. You got a little yelp. Hey, no. Come on. Lay down, boy. Hey, what is that schmutz on your bed? You filthy animal, you. Lay down. Lay. Oh, his breath. His breath as he's gotten older is just rancid, chat. It's rancid. Like porta potty. Like, oh, I'm smelling it right now. Okay, let's see if I can get through this story. Dog whispering? Yeah. I trained my dog. There are people outside not allowed to. Yes. True, Frackbird. He's very good at alerting us about that. All right, so the water goes into the valve, and the valve only gets triggered when, like, let's make this is a big door, okay? This is a big fridge. We're just, you know, because I drew this. This is not proportional, okay? Obviously. So on the door, let's make this like this whole thing is the door. The door is twice the size of the main fridge. Door. Okay. On the door, the outside of it, there's a little dispenser thing, you know, that like shoots the water out. That's not looking the way I want it to look. But it's like a little, like it's like a flap, okay? And then you push on that, and then the spout for the water opens up. Okay? This is like in here, and it will come out here, and then it just. Okay. That looks a little bit better, I think. Bauer, relax. Okay, and then we have the cup. Let's make the cup go around this. It's a rather large cup, okay? We're filling a bucket of water from the refrigerator. Okay? Cool. So you push that against there. And it triggers this valve to open up so that the water comes out of the reservoir in the door. Is anybody learning something here? Is this actually helping for people that don't know how a refrigerator works? Glass not to scale either. Right, exactly. My mom's is an American style fridge, but what do you call them out there? Just I mean, we say fridge for short, but we say refrigerator for like the full term. That's a small soda from a Taco Bell. This one? Oh, you mean the one that's... Okay. Yes, learning, taking note. Okay, cool, May. I'm glad to hear that. Train the dog to howl together. You howl often? Oh, no. So the way that... I didn't train him to do that. That's something we discovered about him, Roy Lisi. Whenever, like, sirens are going off from, like, you know, a police car going by or fire truck going by or something that's in the movies, it's like a high-pitched noise that you go, howl, like that. Like howling, it triggers him to howl. So, yeah. Grandma still calls it the ice box. All right, Frackbird, fair enough. So that's how it works, okay? And I didn't write that this is reservoir. Reservoir. VOIR. Okay. So the way I troubleshooted or like tested things out was I one, I used YouTube and ChatGPT to help me out. And what was happening is when I would push against this lever for water. Okay, when I would push against that, it would make the noise like it like hums, it like buzzes, like it's trying to activate the valve to let water out through the dispenser into your cup. Okay, and that was making the noise for this valve here in the door, but I learned that it wasn't making noise for the one behind at the back. So I was like, this is probably not working. So then I took it apart, took that part out, and tested for continuity, and it seemed like it was not having continuity, or something was going... there was something either electrically or mechanically going wrong with it, I felt. So I was like, okay, let me look up this part with my refrigerator. I checked on all different sites, Walmart, Amazon, what have you. Amazon had it for like 20 bucks. And I was like, okay, not too bad. For 20 bucks, it's worth me taking the chance of getting that and replacing this one and trying that out. So that all took, I did all that on Saturday. All that learning and figuring things out and understanding how the fridge worked was Saturday. I get the part on Sunday and I spend another 4 hours of taking this one out and putting the other one in. And in order to do that, I had to turn. So this is like a pop top valve. This is also another valve. Oops. Okay. But what you do is you pop it up for off to stop the water from going into the tube here into the back of the refrigerator. Then you push it down to turn it on and let the water flow. Okay. So I popped it up to turn it off, let the water drain out of the piping that was on there, the tube that was on there, into a bucket, took this part out, well, unplugged the refrigerator first, took this part out and removed the pipe from that part that was going into the fridge too further and swapped in the new part. Okay. Then I plugged the refrigerator back in. I turned this on and went to test everything. And I pushed the lever and I heard this humming and everything like that, but water wasn't coming out. And I was like, it's probably because there's air. What happens is, like, when you change the air filter, when you change the filter in refrigerators, sometimes air will get into that piping and you got to let that shoot out, like get out of the system, and then water will spurt out a little bit at first, but you run it for like a minute or two and it'll clear out the line basically of all the air that's in it. So I started putting everything back, and then I get the fridge back into its, place in the wall, because you got to pull it away from the wall. And it's just even continuously holding it, it was just not shooting any water out. And I was like, oh man, what happened? And one of the other things that I failed to note actually at the start of this was this reservoir was empty. So when that wasn't working, when I was testing things out, and I had opened up this part of the door to see behind here where this valve was, this reservoir was empty. When I put the new valve here in this part, this filled up with water. So I was like, okay, that must have been it. And then I started thinking, well, since it's not shooting any water out here, it might be this valve now that's the problem. So the thing with that though was that valve for some reason is like $100, like around that, so give or take $10 to $15 less or more, you know, depending on where you would get it. So I'm like, okay, is this a secondary problem? And like both of these valves went, and I'm, you know what I mean? And then that's the end of it. And I was worried that the same thing was going to happen though, basically. Like I fixed this one problem, found the next problem. If I fix this one and I find another problem, or the whole time it was never these problems, then that's $120 down the drain, you know? So I'm like, at this point, I've only spent hours of my life and $20 on a weekend to do this. I don't know if it's worth me risking trying to fix this myself for $100 more of my time, only to find out that I still need more help and still need to fix this further. So I talked it over with Mrs. Clarkio. I mean, the whole time she was basically saying we should just hire somebody. And she was like, yeah, we should probably hire somebody at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm with you. I was convinced. So I did some research, found some local people that would come out at a decent rate that got really good reviews and stuff like that. This guy comes out, and I asked them ahead of time. I was like, hey, do you have this part? Because a lot of the other ones, they were like, we would have to order. I didn't want to have them come out and then they'd be like, oh, we have to order it, right? Like I wanted them to come out, do a diagnostic, make sure that they agree it's this part, and then fix that part on that same day. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to find somebody that had that part, and luckily I found somebody that had that part and good rates and great reviews. So it was like the trifecta for me. I was like, okay, let's go. You know, let's do it. You have problems. Yeah, thanks, Coach Sean. Sorry, seems I was thinking more quietly than usual. What happened, Frank? It was incontinent. She's 97, says Rackberg. I'm just glad she's still here to call it that. Yeah, hell yeah. Shirley says, my mom's fridge has a water jug inside. It is configured for non-plumbed mode. Oh, that's interesting. I was listening to the stream, Frank, but my signal kept dropping, and because you stopped talking, sometimes it was hard to tell the stream. Oh, you're talking about the meetup that you all did? Okay. So I promise there's a punchline and a point to me telling this whole story. I think I might have alluded to it already. Maybe some of you can guess it. So I had the guy come. He had the part ready to go. He let me know that it was like around $100 for that part, plus the diagnostic and labor fees, right? And I was like, yep, I understand. Appreciate that. Thank you for the heads up before we do this, right? So he and I worked together because I had talked to him. I was like, I like doing this stuff. Plus, you need more than one set of hands to like hold the panel that all this was behind. So we worked together. They replaced this valve, hook everything back up, test it, and it's still not dispensing water. So he's like, okay, we got to start from the beginning. And he's like, I got to go behind the fridge or whatever. And he goes to this, and this was the source of the problem. Basically what I suspect is when I replaced this one, I didn't fully turn this valve on. Okay. And so it was kind of like half on, half off. It would let water into the reservoir up to a certain point, but there wasn't enough pressure coming through to push it out of the reservoir into this valve and then out through the dispenser on the front of the fridge. I was like, no, are you? Because he went back there and he was like, oh, this isn't on. I was like, what do you mean it's not on? I turned it on. He's like, no, it's not on. Hi, honey. Hold on.
An ad is about to start in 2 minutes on Twitch.
She said, "Did you forget it's Slurpee Day?" 7-Eleven. Sean, you're laughing at me? He's like, "No, this valve is not on. It's not on all the way, at least," he said. And I was like, "Oh no, are you kidding me?" And he's like, "No, I'm not kidding you." So he turns that on. We plug everything back in. We try it, and it immediately starts working. I was like, "Oh, dude." And he's like, sometimes though, like pressure can build up in the line and it can actually make the valve pop up and off on its own. Like, I don't know if he was just trying to be nice to like save me from, yes, Sean, it's 7-Eleven today. If he was trying to be nice and save me from the embarrassment of it. I mean, I was like, whatever, it is what it is. I make mistakes. I learned a lot doing this, and it is what it is.
About to start in 1
I'm gonna
minute
snooze
on
this
Twitch.
one. So he's like, "Do you want me to swap the old one back in for you and test that?" And I was like, "No, dude, you've already," because he was telling me how he had to like drive pretty far to come out to me and stuff like that. And I was like, "You already spent enough time coming here. I don't want you spend any more time." Plus, I was thinking like if he's charging, I don't think he was charging an hourly rate, but like probably if it goes past a certain hour of time of work for him, then it probably increases the cost, you know? So I'm like, I don't need you here any longer for my mistakes, you know? So I was like, no, it's good. And so I still have the old part just in case I want to test it. But at this point, I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. Everything's working. Mrs. Clark was happy. Water is being dispensed. I'm not going to try and see if this wasn't even broken in the first place. I really think it was broken because it wasn't making the humming noise when it gets for it to, when it's running and the electricity's running, you know, activating it. So I'm pretty confident, like 90% sure this was the problem and broken. And then the valve just popped off when I turned everything back on and pushed everything back. Right, Sean. If it happens again, I have a spare to test it with. Yep, exactly. Because I don't know. Yeah, maybe that other one is not working. The old one is not working. I still have it on hand just in case, though. So there you go. That is the story of how I had to fix my refrigerator this past weekend. I suppose I should count another win of the week. Sunday completes my 43rd trip around the sun. Nice, Frackberg. Congrats on that. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy early birthday. Look, even RugmatBot is saying it. So there you go, folks. Now you know more about refrigerators, how they work. You can learn from my mistakes, which is my objective with these streams in the first place. And take a screenshot of this for future reference. I should do that myself, actually. Like, save this. I should make this is called the wall. Wall. There we go. This is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. Bought a water valve. Now the wifey is happy. Fresh water of Bel Air. Yes, learn to turn on the water source, LOL. No. Don't you say that, Sean. It's learn to double check the water source. Basically what he said to me, he was like, always, he's like, whenever we've had like new technicians come on board, sometimes they'll call him up and be like, "Hey, this is going on. I don't understand why it's not working." And he's like, "Well, have you checked?" Like they start here. They start at the back of the refrigerator, or if it's an electrical thing, they start at the back of the appliance. And instead of starting at the source, this is where you should start. You're jumping ahead type thing. So, hold on a second, chat. I gotta go check what's going on at the door.
The ad is starting now and will go for 180 seconds.
Yearning to act on these debauching schemes. devours, they coerced,
3, 2, 1.
devours, the strongest sin, they coerced, devours, they coerced, they coerced,
FBI, open up!
Welcome in and thanks for joining today TypeScript Tea Time. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Parvin.
FBI, open up!
All right, chat, I'm back. Say something in the YouTube. What do you mean? I don't understand the words coming out of that singer's mouth. I was wondering if it shows up here. What did I miss? I swear he was waiting to bark for when you started talking. Little Bauer. Timing. Unfortunately, the weather won't lend itself to my desire to ride a stupidly long distance this year. Yes, learn to turn on the water source. Okay, I'm all caught up. Everybody still there? Wake up, wake up. I'm muted. No, you muted the stream. Are you messing with me, Surly Dev?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Rambling Geek.
Hey, Rambling Geek. Check, check. Hey, Rambling. No, I'm not muted. I turned my volume down by... Oh, okay, there we go. You mess... That messes with me. All right. Rambling Geek? No, not last stream. Just last stream for a bit. I'm going to be gone for the next 2 weeks visiting family. Oh, no worries, Surly Dev. All right. Any other wins of the week? Drop them in the chat. We'd love to hear it.
1.
Oh, I got a smack and a high five. Be back next month. Exactly, May. Exactly. All right, I'm going to play Wordle. Ooh, okay. We got... Let's do Grail. All right. Oh, I got to get really lucky then, huh? Muted. Ooh, okay. Rambling Geek. What brings you to Florida? You going to the theme parks or something? Visiting family? Disney with the boy. Oh, that's awesome. Let's connect in Discord though. A plane, duh. Still like the WoS spinning dots in the upper left corner, mate? Yeah. What brings you to Florida? A plane. Boom, boom. Crane? Oh, I got an N out of it. All right, looks like you're getting a point this week, chat. Is it like prank? No. Is it brand? Yes. Okay. Well, at least I got it without failing. All right, where are we all at? Because it's been a while. Wordle. Paste in my results. You all are... That. Edit this. Bring it over here. You're all at 43 lifetime, and you're up by 10 again. Good for you, chat. Good for you. What's today? July 11th, right? Save. All right, let's play connections. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Why is there Google, Uber, and Yahoo and Zoom on there? That seems like a... That seems like bait. Goose, swan, dodo, fowl. Oh, that's not one. Okay. Is there ever a reset for Wordle? Like, does it continue uniqueness, or is there a time where it just restarts? I think there's... Yeah, there's definitely a limited number of 5-letter words, right? What do we think, chat, with these words, with these connections? Should I try that? I'm gonna try it. Nope. One away on that though. I don't know what that is. Lo mein? Goose, Google, Goof, Yahoo. Oh no, we got one more chance. Double O. Oh yeah, that was a good try though, Frank. I see that. We get one more mistake. Well, is this goose? Swan, fowl, dodo. I think I guessed that already. Yeah. That didn't work, Deep Harvin. Good to see you, by the way. What's an offal? And is this like lo mein? Is that how you spell lo mein? Like Chinese food? Lo mein? Offal is like the innards / waste product of animals, I think. Oh, the entrails and internal organs of an animal used as food. Oh. Oh. Yikes. That sounds awful. I had to. I don't know. It was a layup, you know? A little softball. This is crazy. We've had 3 guesses and 3 mistakes already. Some dumb in this one. Is there really, Fragberg? I'm guessing you already did it. The Tech E? But oddly, I got purple first, says Fragberg. Oh. You have never had liver or tripe? No, Deep Arvin, I have not. Offal, vile, foul. Google, Photoshop, Yahoo, Uber. Oh, is folk a bird? Right, Lacey? Folk is a bird? But so is swan. We guessed this already one time, right, Lacey? But you're saying get rid of swan and go to folk? This might be the first time we fail connections on stream. I'm gonna send it. Oh. What was it? Trademarks that have become verbs? Oh my goodness. Where's... Hold on. Silly person? Are you kidding me? Oh, what a trick. Well played on that one, Connections. These are all reasonable. I just didn't see it. Dodo, Goof, Goose, Yahoo. All right. Very well played on these 2 for tricking me. And the rest of the stream, apparently. You damn Yahoo. That was Yahoo, silly person. I've heard it before. Or at least see. It might be... So you got to understand as well, is the New York Times is very biased towards... Well, in their own way, but biased towards... American culture. And so in American culture, there are some areas of, I mean, well, I'd say across the country, but it's used heavily in certain areas of the country probably too. Your Yahoo. Kinds of songs. A folk song, love song, siren song, and swan. I don't know that I would have ever gotten that. Oh, thank you. Lunchtime. And then homophones for synonyms for despicable: foul, mean, awful. Oh my gosh. I was on to something with the awful. Those of you that played this already. Frackberg probably. I know you admitted to playing it already. You were probably laughing to yourself. Yeah, it made me laugh when you said that. I made a joke. I was like, oh, it's awful. Awful, awful. All right, this one I can laugh at. This one I can laugh at. I think blue is the most ridiculous, though. I've never heard of... I mean, maybe siren. They're talking about like the Greek mythology sirens singing songs. But I didn't know like that's a kind of song. And then a swan song, I don't think I've ever heard that either. Unless, I don't know, the only thing I could maybe make some connection with that is like, what's that like movie that's like really bad about the... Not that the movie's really bad, but it's like, I think it's about a terrible thing about a ballet dancer or something, right? The Black Swan or something. Swan song is the thing, Remlin Geek? That's not a common thing that I'm used to that. What's a swan song? What does that mean? Swan song was the last good episode of Supernatural. Okay. The swan song is a metaphorical phrase for a final gesture, effort, or performance given just before death or retirement. Really? Yeah, I guess I'm just not familiar with that. I feel like maybe slightly I've heard that before, but in all my times around the sun. Well, do the results. We're going to share the results. And I'm going to say chat helped me fail this one. Paste it in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, if you'd like to join in on playing these games, sharing your results with the community when we're not live on stream, feel free to do so. Head on over to clarkio.com/Discord for the invite. Thank you, Sean, for doing that. All right, let's get some words on stream going while I eat. What do you say? What do you say, chat? What do you say? Oi, what do you say? Did it load up on stream? I gotta refresh it. Oh, there it goes. Let's get the WoS helper. Oh, I gotta update the WoS helper to clarko.com/WoS assist because we did make changes off stream for that. There we go. That seems to be working. We are gonna mirror link. Let me get you that. Drop that in the chat. Sean, you gotta go. Okay, I'm out here to hang with fiance. See you all later. All right, have fun. Enjoy the time with the fiance. Catch you in the next one, Sean. If we don't see you later, have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. And I'll see you when I get back from vacay. Or, well, in the Discord. All right, there's the mirror link, everybody. Have fun. Let's play some words on stream. All right, I'm gonna eat. What are these missing words going to be? Turd, odor, outdo, and rude. Rude. Interesting. Be right back, chat.
It's not that you're not strong, or that you know what I need. In the past I played along, so devoted I lost parts of me. This time it's not gonna happen. Don't need happy forever after. I let go of past if you do too. To leave now would be running from the truth. We could do better than this. We could do better than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. We could do better than this. We are much bigger than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Huggins 7278.
We could do better than this. We could do better.
All right. Egret and Degree were missed. Look at you, chat, getting a level 12 already? Thank you, Roy Lacey, for welcoming me back. Ooh, Scorpion. Score. So many R's and E's. Score spree. Spree. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Scorsese? Horror. I thought you were muted, lol. P is fake, I think. Yeah, Huggins. Hey, good to see you, Huggins. Oh, I muted my tab. Yeah, no worries. I don't know if I like this whole layout shift with the name, to be fair. Which one? On the left-hand side? What do you mean, Roy Lacey? Nice job, chat. Nice job. Yeah, if someone with a longer name guesses, the whole row gets long. Yeah. True. All right. Scree, Error, Serer, Rose, Orcs, Seer. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's look at the logs too going on here. Total empty slots was 7. We had 3, 3, and 1. Okay, that matches up. And then, but it had 8 potential words here though. 3, 3, and, or no. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5-letter words were there though. Interesting, interesting. It truncated my name on the big word, yeah. It should do that. Like there is a max width, I think, that they have in the game that. All right, M is definitely fake, right? Man, what is the hidden letter?
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Wilder Hives.
Hey, happy to have you here, Wilder Hives. Oh, C, lace.
Mary Jo Sailor says Clarky ooh.
What's up, Mary? Just a blur. Good to see you. Happy Friday. What's your win of the week if you got one? Oh, we're gonna fail.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Mara Jo Steepler.
Place, pace, palace. Ah. Alrighty then. All right, we'll start working on things here, right? Turn lunch break off. Start programming here. Win of the week, golf game even better than last time. Nice, Mary Jo. Love to hear it. Congrats and thanks for sharing that with us. Ooh, the dictionary count, we can calculate that real fast. When I refresh the page, let's clear these logs. Refresh this page. I log it right. 9,417. We were at just the other day, weren't we, at like 9,300? Keeping track of it in the 9,387. So we went up about. How are there more words? Is there really that many? Did not meet my goal. What is it? Yeah. What was your goal? 9,500? We can maybe do it today. We just gotta really work hard on it. Sudafed. Ooh, that looks weird like that. It wrapped. Why did it wrap? Huh. I don't like that it wrapped like that. Thankfully, it didn't wrap there, though. Is it because of this? Oh, that's why. I can deal with that. You've had to adjust your window screens, May? Yeah. All right, so update from last stream. I used OpenAI's Codex Cloud, which is their agentic background agent type of tool. And I had it do a lot of stuff for me off stream. I was really quite impressed with all of it. Well, first of all, what I did was I broke out the tool into its own repository instead of having it directly in the base of my website like I was doing it before. I now have, I mean, it's the base one is still there under WoS helper, but the new one is under this URL, WoS assist. So clarkio.com/WOS-assist is the new URL if people want to use. That one, more so for the correct words and not letters. I got you. Yeah. That one I still left on, assuming people are still using it potentially. But then I will eventually rip that out of that part of my website, the code there, and run strictly off of this one. So what that did though, and part of the reason why I wanted to do that is so that I can isolate these tools like OpenAI's Codex Cloud to build just against the code there and not have to make changes to the main website. So I had it do 6 things total. I closed 4 of them. We logged the dictionary word count. We ensure fonts resize with the browser zoom because that wasn't happening before, and that's partly why we saw some of that word wrapping going on there, by the way. I wanted to log the total slots at the end of the level since we've been working on the word dictionary for this. We were constantly trying to compare, and May was doing it like for us in the chat manually, like how many slots were open on the board versus how many missing words were being reported and how many total slots there were. So I had, I showed you that just a second ago. At the end of a round or level rather, it will show you all those details there. Some of it was done by me and some of it was done by OpenAI Codex. And then add dedicated missed words display was what I was thinking of doing, but then after some feedback from May and Dylan, decided to go with just bolding the words a bit more so they stand out and they don't blend in as much. I list that the log shows that now. I did not notice. Oh, okay. Yep, it does show that now. So what I'm going to do is take a look at these other pull requests that it provided. Add alphabetical sort button. And the other thing I wanted to do is start tracking, because I know Dylan does this in some form or fashion, either manually or some automated way, the personal bests. So like for us, the personal best is like 269 or something like that, right? Level that we've ever gotten all time. But then I want to also have it track personal best for that day. So like today it was like, I don't know, what did we get up to, 12 or something like that so far? So, and have that get rendered out on the screen somehow. So we need to test those features out. Any preference on which one we test out? I mean, if you all don't have a preference on which one you'd like me to see work on first, I'm going to start in numerical order with number 5 pull request there, and then move on to that one next. But I'm open to hearing your thoughts and opinions. And so I want you to know, like, all 6 of these tasks I kicked off around the same time. And basically I went and looked at my to-do list that I had here, and I just opened up tasks against OpenAI's Codex and said, hey, go build. I gave it access to the repo, and I said, go do these things. And I gave it a list of requirements. In fact, I wonder if I can show you that. Let me look into getting that set up. ChatGPT. Am I logged in here? All right, I was just getting that logged in and set up. I guess I can archive this one too. But you could see, like, I'll show you like what I wrote and everything too. Like I just said, hey, make it so at the end of a level, the tool logs to console the total slots of the level. Like I didn't give it any context of like what slots meant, what a level means. It just analyzed the code and figured it out and followed the same like pattern, like see WoS helper logging like style that I do, you know? So that was pretty cool. Implement uniform font scaling on Zoom. I mean, all I said was, please make it so the font scales uniformly whenever the user zooms in or out on their browser. And I even iterated on it too. I was like, this is working well so far, but the Twitch icon, which you can see where it says like made by Clarkio there, that wasn't scaling. So please update that to make that scale as well. And then it said one last thing. I wanted it to be more centered because it was like kind of janky the way it was looking. So like, even if it doesn't do it on the first shot, I have it still work on that same branch, make more changes, and it just makes the commits to that branch that it's working off of. It's not committing to the main branch on me. And then I open up a PR and I can pull those code changes down and check them. This is just another logging one. So I was trying to do like some simple ones and then more involved ones. Like I worked my way up, you know? So like this is simple, this is simple. This one's a little bit more, slightly more involved doing the scaling stuff. If you look at the changes of it, not a whole lot, but you could see it ended up switching things to rem instead of fixed sizes that I had, stuff like that. Let's look at like originally here, right? So we had that. Well, I had min calculated like that. I had, and it switched it to rem sizes so that way it can scale, you know? That was really cool. All right, in terms of tests, that's currently working on add a button to sort alphabetically. Like one sentence. So now let's test it out, right? I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna go to GitHub, look at the pull request alphabetical one, tell it to check out. Oh, what did I do out there? Yeah, just stash. All right, and then I can look at the changes from this pull request. But what I really want to do is open up the terminal, npm run dev, try it out. Ooh, there's a button. Sort A to Z. All right, looks like that's working. But I want to be able to undo that too. What are the conflicts? It's not showing me the conflicts. Oh, that's because I was in the wrong merge conflicts here. I want that. Oh, I just need to move this within correct words log container. Span correct words. Cut that out. Save.
An ad is about to start in 2 minutes on Twitch.
Continue. I think that should be fine. All right, now we need to like get more words on the board here and sort them. Update this. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell it while I'm testing it out still. I'm gonna tell it to update it.
An ad is about to start in 1 minute on Twitch.
All right, looks like that's working. I just want to make it so that I can sort it back the other way. And we want, what, May, you're the one that wants this feature, and I know a couple other people have asked for it, but being that you're here, I'm asking you for your feedback, May. You want it to sort first by length, and then within each length by alphabetical order, right? Is that what we're talking about here?
Starting now and will go for 180 seconds.
Oh, I was saying, May, for the being that you're one of the folks that's interested in this feature, did you want them sorted alpha? See, it's look like I gotta do it every time. You want it sorted alphabetically based on. You want to group by size first, and then by length rather. I mean, right? Like that's what I mean by size. Group by length. And then sort them alphabetically within those groups, right? Yeah, because see, like, lathe, by the way, or like that's 5 letters versus tail, which is 4 letters, but alphabetically, lathe comes first, right? Length alpha, if possible. Okay. So yeah, maybe I tell it, it's gonna do that. work that it just did, but no, it's still setting up the environment for this. It's taking a little bit. So this is working as I expected, but not fully to the extent of what we need here, you know? Oh, but there's those logs, by the way. Total slots for level 21. Possible words 21. Missing words 5. Total empty slots was 5. So this was like a perfect board that we had here, captured with all the dictionary and everything. What are those 2 4-letter words we missed? Epic? No, we didn't miss epic. Oh, did we miss epic? Yeah. Oh, it shows 4. There was only 2 missing though. Yeah. This is a perfect example. Or at least thank you for the matrix. This is a perfect example of the letters that are for that board can create more than one potential, well, can generate more missing words than what are empty on the board too. If the star words are confusing when trying the alpha within length, maybe put them last after all correct words guessed. Yes. Yeah. I feel like I need to figure out a better design for this little panel that shows the words, you know? I just don't know how best to design that. Like what would work in the cleanest way. Maybe if I make it based on the slots that you see, kind of. Kind of like how the words on screen in the game does it. Like it has slots of 4, 4, 5, and you know what I mean? Like that. To do all the 4-letter words on one row, all the 5-letter words on another row. Huggins. Ah, good try, chat. Tinge, giant, Oh, it cuts off at the bottom there too. Something else to work on. All right, let's see how it did. Let's do a git pull. What branch am I on? Git reset dash hard. Git pull.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today. Come Dave 90125.
What's up, Dave? Dangest word board I ever saw. You think so? Yeah. Happy to have you here. Welcome in. You gotta get back to work, Coach Sean. All right. Have a good weekend as well. I'll see you around. Thanks for sharing your wins of the week, Sean, and for playing words on stream a bit. Oh, it's because I'm on branch main. I thought I had already checked out. I thought we checked out the branch that Oh, it's on main. No, that says checkout main. Open changes. Refresh. Git branch -a. Oh, I'm on codex add button. Okay, yeah, so git pull. Why is it saying sync changes? Push 18 commits. No. All right, let's go git checkout main. Git pull on that. Okay. Git branch -d. This branch. Okay. Clear. Check this out again. All right, now I'm on that branch. Now I have the changes. Clear npm run dev again.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Kaylondo.
Kaylondo, good to see you again. All right. Whoa. How do I get it to... let's go open this pull requests. I'm not signed in. Boo-hoo. I'll be right back, chat. Hold on. Alright, I got resolve conflicts in the branch here. Ooh, we got a clear today. Nice job, chat. All right, there we go. Now we're good. First clear of the day. Ooh, we should have that as a task too, right? Let me add that to the to-do. Let's do new issue. Create tracker for number of times the board is fully solved. Clear for the day. And yeah, just leave it like that. Yeah, so many boards that we had to play there. What is making it? Is it because the Twitch chat frame element? What's that one? I need to put like display none on that. That's what's making it like, that's what's setting it off to the side so much instead of giving it the full width real estate. I don't want to keep track of how it takes to get it clear. What? How many boards it takes to get it clear? No. All right, what did we say? All right, let's tell it to. Oh wait, I wanted to see if it made the sort go back. Is there an option to go back? I don't see it. What did it change? It didn't actually change anything. Edits a sort by length button next to the existing alphabetical sort control so users can revert to the default ordering. Wired up event listeners. I didn't see that. Where's that button? Oh, update branch. That's why. That's the one thing. I wish it would just automatically update the branch. Like if it's already working off a branch, just go updating PRs that are updated outside of Codex. For now, please create a new PR. Oh. Create a new PR. Dang it. Well, now I know. Pig nut? Is that a missing word? Pig nut. Was that the only one that was missed? One empty slot, 6 letters. Yeah, pig nut. I didn't know that was a word. Alright, let's go refresh. There we go. Sort by length. Sort A to Z. Is A fake? What is this word? Bespoke? What was the word? Biceps. Oh man. We missed that. Hey, nice try, chat. Boy goes to gym, yeah. Oh, I know the big word, I think. Yeah. Oh. That wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking proctor. But I don't think he spelled it that way. All right, sort A to Z, sort by length, which is the default. What do you think? Does that work, May? So here's the thing, it doesn't persist actually. Once we get a new word in there, it like, let's do sort A to Z. You think so? It matters more to sort at the end of the game, May? You think? Or are you just saying as like a workaround for now? 1, 2. I think what I really need this to do is I need it to just, what I'm gonna have this PR do is group them by size as a workaround. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Oops. Let me ask it actually. Switch to ask mode. Oh, what? Creating a different. I'm. No. Stop. Stop. Oh no. Configuring container, downloading repo. Oh man, I didn't mean to ask, like click ask. I wrote I'm and then asked. What is it gonna do? I didn't complete my thought. Cray. I'm telling it to stop and it's not stopping. What is it doing? What is it think? What? I need to gather instructions from the agents file in the repository. I'll look for a list. Oh my gosh, it's looking at the to-do list. Because I didn't tell it to do anything. Where is it? Oh no, what did I do, chat? AI gone wild. I set it free by saying, I'm... It's like, okay. Oh, it canceled. It canceled. Woo! Where's the There it is, yeah. All right, I need to gather instructions from the agent's MD file in the root repository. Oh, there is none, so let me look at the README. Oh, I'll check the list to do. What's inside? I'll check the commit history. Okay, I'll take a look at the previous commit. Looking back at previous commits for context. I'm thinking it might be a good idea to add a few more commits. What? What commits? I'll display the diff of the current head to review changes. I'll take a look at the files. Okay, read through that. I'll open that file to take a look at it. I'll keep scrolling until I reach relevant section at the bottom. I'll review the commit diff to confirm the changes I've made. The commit applying previous commit seems odd, also, so I'll check this diff for clarity. User message seems to cut off. I'll search for inline comments like to do to be safe. Oh no. I'll look for fix me notes to see if further work is needed. Okay, it hasn't done anything. It's just trying to find something to do. I'll check lines around 119 for comments or sorting. If there are any test scripts available, I'm checking the latest commit for correct. This is interesting. I can't run tests due to missing dependencies. Yeah, I don't have any tests, dude. Is running it? Astronaut found error. Okay. Yeah. All right. That was close. Okay. I'm thinking you all can restart if you want. Yeah, AI unleashed. More commits. I'm thinking how to best display and sort the words for them to be readable and helpful to users. In the correct words component. What might be the best design design to maximize usability and ability of the information while playing the words on stream game? Ask it. You don't need to spin up an environment for this. Oh my gosh, it's spinning up an environment. I guess it's got to look at the code to discuss that more. I mean, if we go back out to paint here, can I do like a tab on this? Or new? All right, chat. Take a screenshot of our fridge story. Alphabetical. Ah, blinding. All right. So I'm wondering if so right now we have it like this, right? Oops. See, we have it like this, right? And then it's like, oh, correct size, like gigantic. Correct. Correct words, right? And then there's a bunch of words. Right? Like all comma separated. And that's fine for like our initial implementation. But what I want to do is maybe break it out where it's like, here's like, I don't know, I don't think I need to preface it with like, hey, 4-letter words. Like that's pretty self-explanatory that these are all 4-letter words. So maybe we just group them. Maybe we just group them where it's like, here's all the 4-letter words, right? And then the next line is going to be, and that can wrap though. And then we have a spacer. I don't know, that's like another color. And then 5-letter words. Da 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 da. You know? Not alpha on that board. What do you mean? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, what does it say? For readability and easy reference during gameplay, consider a layout that exposes key actions and lets players quickly resort the list. Use a dedicated correct words area. The page already renders this via that. Leverage the existing sorting helpers. so users can switch between any. Yeah, we got that already. Consider readability tweaks. The to-do list suggests using all caps for correct words, which could make them stand out in the log. No. The log container style enforces white space pre-wrap and max height, but it currently sets overflow hidden Y, allowing scrolling would keep the font large while letting the list grow. Ooh, yeah, we could do that. Present words as a vertical list. New line separated. Oh, that's not a bad idea. What if we did it in a vertical format, chat? So it's like all the 4-letter words here, all the 5-letter words. I don't think that could work depending on the size, the number of slots for each, you know? I feel like Words on Stream has already figured this out. It's how they do it. Maybe I just follow suit with that somehow. Well, there's only like 2 of you playing now. What happened? You know what I mean? I'm gonna try this first, I think. The horizontal group correct words in each. So I think the first step is let's group them. Let's tell it to group. All right. Let's go in a slightly different direction. Group each correct word. Change correct words components. You can't see this.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Ali Catraz.
What's up, Alley Cat? You doing words tonight? Yes, we're doing words. I'm working on the tool alongside while we're playing words. So that is on. Let me get rid of this so you can see it better. It's over here on the left-hand side, and then the tool is actively running the production version right next to it there. But then I am working on this, the one with changes. Like you can see the buttons on this side too. So I know it makes it confusing, but the left-hand side all the way over here, see my mouse all the way across the screen, top left there. That's the main one you want to pay attention to. Mirror link is in the pinned message on the chat. And then the helper tool that you're familiar with me, that I built.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Boy Gamers.
What's up, PC boy? Happy to have you here. The main version that's not changing. Oh, we got another clear. That's 2 clears today. Allie, that one's right over here, like behind my mouse there. So anyway, you could just disregard everything on the right-hand side of the screen. Everything on the left-hand side of the screen is for you to play while you listen to me talk through stuff. But I talk through myself. I talk through me building out the tool. It's a little small for you? And you don't like mirror links? Oh, okay. I can make it slightly bigger. When I do that, when the list gets long, it's going to go off the screen, basically. So just a heads up on that. Yeah, no worries, Ali. Happy to have you here. I'm glad to have you play. If it's too hard for you to play like this, then I totally understand. I appreciate you popping in and saying hi. All right, change the correct words component to break out subsections for each word length. Found from that level's board. There will never be a word length shorter than 4 letters. So keep that in consideration. But there are some levels that only have words that with a length of 5 letters or more. Go. Let's see what it comes up with. It is nice that Clarky shares the tools too. Yeah. Ali says, I've seen it too. Clark is I'm becoming famous? No. Oh, Dave, you said you've seen the word box on a couple other people's streaming? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I only know of one other person. Dylan was the only person that I've heard of that's been using it. Really? Sage and Dylan. Okay, cool. Yeah, I knew of Dylan. Dylan ended up popping in my Discord too, and the stream once or twice before, and has been sharing their feedback on the tool too. I'm not familiar with Sage. Feel free to share a link, Dave. I don't mind you dropping a link to Sage's stream so I could check them out sometime too. You've seen others as well, Ali? Wow. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that people are getting value out of it and using it. Yeah, when May told me she discovered Dylan using it, that was like a huge moment to me. I was like, wow. I forget. May, do you remember how Dylan discovered the tool though? I wonder, because we only ever used it on my stream. I mean, it's all free. The tool is free. The discovery of the tool, I don't know how people are having it because I don't really, not that I'm like against doing this, but I'm not doing anything right now to promote it is what I'm getting at. From one of his chatters. Oh, okay. Was it you, May? Is that what you mean by that? It's funny. So like right now I'm technically coding, but the AI is coding on my behalf in an isolated environment, and I'm able to just chat with you all while it's coding. Not sure who, but I think I know, not you. Okay. Scarlet Sage hasn't streamed for a few days, maybe internet issues. Okay, I got you. Cool. You saw a link being shared around. Okay, yeah. So the link to it is on my website. Well, I haven't updated versions, so anybody that that's a bummer. We can restart though. Anybody that you see using the tool as you're browsing around, you gotta tell them that there's an updated version of it now that I isolated to this URL, clarkio.com/WoS assist instead of WoS helper. Kylondo says, which AI coder are you using? I am using, I've tried a lot. Let me put it out there. And so far this is the one I'm liking the most right now. In terms of, well, let me specify what I'm talking about. I have used AI code assistant tools that are like extensions that are part of my development tools, like VS Code or Cursor. I've used that stuff, and those work great. But in situations where I want something to run and build on its own without me actively coding, there's a bunch of them popping up right now. So Google has Jules, it's called Jules, that you give it access to your code repository, and it will go, and then you give it a task, and it'll go and build that task and create a pull request for you. I've tried that one out. It's okay. It's not bad. I tried out just recently Cursor's agents, background agents, but in their cloud environment. It's okay. Not my favorite though. I'm not knocking it like it's bad, but I just feel like the overall development experience is not ideal because of this one. OpenAI's Codex Cloud. So if you go to ChatGPT/Codex, I'll give you the link. Give you the link in chat here. I absolutely love it.
Thanks for joining today, Clarkio.
You have access to Codex? Nice. Yes. I would definitely do that. I would check it out. It has been the best user experience in my opinion, because the situation where I want to use this tool is when I'm not at my desk. Well, obviously I'm using it right now. But that's because I started using it away from my desk, and then, well, let me explain. I find this new wave of this approach to AI coding, the agentic cloud agents, to be really beneficial in the sense of I could be away from this desk and I don't have access to my laptop, let's say. And I have ideas for things that I want to build into this tool, into the Words on Stream helper tool. And so what I did was I was on my phone. I opened up the ChatGPT app. I went to the Codex view, and then I went in there and I just started typing to it. I'll show you. I did this all in one day. 1, 2, 3, 4 different tasks. And then these other ones are tasks that were part of it too. And I just told it, I was like, hey, I looked at my to-do list that I had in the repository on my phone, and then I switched back over to the ChatGPT app and I said, hey, go do this one, go do this one, go do this one. And then I let that run and do its thing, and I came back the next day. I mean, I could have come back and like, it was done in like 10 minutes with like all of them, or 15 minutes with all of them. But I came back the next day and I started pulling the changes down on my machine, testing them out. If it all looked good, then I merged the PR and it was done, you know? So basically my role is kind of redefining into, I have a really strong technical background around programming, but I can lean on these AI agentic tools to actually do the grunt work of building out the feature set. And I can review and make sure it's up to par with my standards, best practices. Even before that, it's actually fulfilling the need or functionality that I'm looking for, and then check that the standards and practices and security issues are not being introduced or going off track, right? And then I merge it. So I view it as like, I can potentially be working on like something super complex, and then I give this thing like a bunch of small tasks to do, and I'm accomplishing way more now than I have ever been able to do before. And it's like, it really got me like fired up and like excited, especially to like work on something like this, because a lot of times I have ideas, but I don't have the time to go work on them, especially on a weekend or something like that for a side project like this. A free fun side project where I'm just using it to like learn and try new things out and have some fun with you all in the community, right? So I don't always have the time to do that other than on stream. The only time I would do coding for this project was pretty much on stream. But now I can just be like on my phone and I can just tell it through the app, like, go do this, you know? So that's really cool to me. What's up, TypeScript Tea Time? Good to see you. Wow, that is awesome. Would you be willing to do a stream on how you use it? Yeah, I could show you. Maybe OpenAI will sponsor a series. Maybe, I don't know about that. Like you did before with your colleague in the Python course. Wow, oh man, you've been here since then, Kailando? I didn't realize that. That's awesome to hear. That taught you Python? That's freaking awesome. I gotta share that with Cecil. Kailando, heck yeah, you said? I meet with Cecil like on a, with few exceptions where we're on vacation or work trips or something like that. I meet with him every week still. I'm gonna text him right now, actually. Hold on, I gotta tell him right now. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'm letting him know that you learned Python from us. That one wasn't sponsored. Me and Cecil worked at Microsoft at the time. He said the two of you work so well together. Yeah, I really enjoy working with Cecil. He's a good dude, and we had a lot of fun together, man. That's why I'm glad that he and I stay in touch on a recurring basis like that too. We've talked about, and that's part of why we actually have this standing meeting every week, was we were going to try and keep streaming, but just our work responsibilities and stuff like that has kept us from really doing that, you know? So reach out to OpenAI for sponsoring a Codex learning series. Maybe. I don't know. I like the way you think though, Kylondo. I like that. Oh, it used to be Latjor. Okay, I remember Latjor name. I remember that name. Okay, cool. You're an OG. You're an OG then. For sure. I'm just checking something. We will all watch, yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of gave you a rundown of like my workflow. Well, keep in mind, I just discovered this workflow on July 5th is of what I started doing here for this side project. So I go on my phone, I open up the ChatGPT app. I'm signed into the same account and I tap the Codex. I can show you the like what it looks like on there a little bit once it zooms in.
Welcome.
Right.
Thanks for joining today, Jtsum.
What's up, JT? So you can see, so then I just go in there and I tap on, there's the button at the bottom there, that big white button that says new task. I tap on that. It sees that you could see that it's on that repo. Once the focus comes in, it's on the Clerkio WoS assist repo, the main branch. So it's going to look at the main branch and then I just type in what I want it to do there. And then I hit send. And then it goes and does that. Okay. And then, I don't know, they usually take anywhere between like 3 minutes to 10 minutes on average, I would say, somewhere in that range. I mean, given I have a small sample set of me trying it out, and I haven't given it like a huge task just yet. I tried to keep it like small, like I asked it to add a log message for my first one I ever did. So anyway, I do that, it goes off and does, and I just typed it out. And I sent it, and then I was like, okay, what's another idea I want to do? And I go, new task. And I go, here's another idea. And that's what you see here. These are all these tasks I was thinking of in that moment. This was in like a 15-minute span. I was just rattling off the ideas between what was in my to-do list, honestly, on this page. It was in here, which you can see, like that make the font scale, right? And implement uniform font scaling on Zoom. And I can always go back to it and see what it did, you know? So then once it's done, all right, so I'm on my phone, I'm still, all right? That's the flow, right? I sent the task. Once it tells me the task is done, I go into it on the phone and I go, okay, that looks good. I think it's okay, but I want to actually like run it and try it out, you know, before I merge it into my main branch. So what it, even though it said main branch on there in the prompt, it's just using that as a source of reference to read from. Anytime it makes changes, it creates a separate branch and makes a commit to that separate branch. And it prefixes that branch with its name. You know, like codex slash, you can see right there, codex slash add hyphen button, like it uses that kind of pattern for the branching strategy.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Maru Place.
What's up, Maru? Happy to have you here. How you doing? So, it goes and does that, pushes it all to a separate branch, and then the next day, I think it was, I forget what it was, either the next day, it might have been 2 days after that, I only needed like 10 minutes to go sit at my desk here, pull down the changes for like one of those PRs, look at them, it all worked good, then I was like, okay, merge. And then maybe I had to go do something with the kids or whatever, and it only took me 10 minutes to do that. But I made progress. I made one, you know, that 1% better, 1% improvement to the app was just done there in 10 minutes now because of that, you know? And then maybe I got more time later. The kids were busy. They were eating lunch or something. I had maybe 30 minutes now, and I was able to tackle 2 of the PRs, right? So it goes and implements the code changes, and then I come in as like the lead, the tech lead, right, for the project. And I'm like, okay, this PR, I'm going to review it now, and I'm going to make sure, right? And on top of that, I could like, so I'm doing a lot of manually of like, I could add in linters. I can add in, I can all, you know, a lot of the typical stuffs that you put in as like your style guide and stuff like that you'd want everybody on the team to adhere to. I can put that in here, and I can actually not train, but I can add that to the context of how Codex will implement the changes that it makes, right? So if I actually in the repository create a file that's called agents.md, like this, I can list out all the instructions I want it to do. Like, make sure to use semicolons, right? Like this stuff, it can probably pick up if I had a linting file, which I don't think I do for this project. tsconfig, it'll pick it up. Whatever the default tsconfig is, you know? So like in this case, it's using Astro's default tsconfig strict, and we're just extending that. But you get the idea, right? So a lot of these tools will pick up on that stuff. They're smart enough to do that. But the agents thing is like, you know, make sure everything is secure. I don't know. There's a lot of people that actually, you know what you could even do that I've seen? Instead of manually writing this out yourself, I can open up like GitHub Copilot, and I could be like, hey, let's do a new chat with it, and let's do 4.1, right? Because I'm just gonna talk to it. I don't want it to make changes, so I'm gonna ask. I'm not in edit mode or anything like that. I'm asking. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. Let me move this over so you can see. Let's close this. Close all these. Close the sidebar so we can see this a bit better. All right. So what I've seen people do is, so that agents MD file acts as a guidance, so that when any AI coding tool that you're using, you want to make sure that it follows these patterns and practices that you want to put in place. Like maybe you have certain white space style that you want and that type of thing, and you don't have a linter or something. I don't know.
And thanks for joining today, Rugmat.
Hey, Rugmat, your bot has been in here. But you can define all that in the agents.md file. So what we could do is be like, hey, I have an Astro website for this tool that helps with the words on stream game. I'm using agentic. That zooms in a little too much, huh? Oh, you can kind of see it's probably tiny for you. Let me zoom in this way. I'm using agentic. I can't move this over anymore. There we go. Agentic AI tools to help implement features and add new capabilities. But I don't have an agents.md file in place to help guide the AI, so it follows my style of coding and industry best practices, right? Can you help me write up an agents.md file? All right, so I can do that. And then it's going to think and do its thing. Sorry, I can't assist with that. Okay. Why? I've seen people do this. Maybe I'm using the wrong model? What is it running? Run without? Rerun without? Oh, now it's... I think it made it... They're trying to create a new file. Is that why? Certainly. Below is the suggested agents MD file that outlines coding guidelines, best practices, and style preferences for your project. This document will help guide AI tools and contributors to follow your standards. So it's writing it for me. Right? So now all I got to do is copy this, right? This gives me a starting point because I have no idea. I've never written an agents MD file before. Literally, I'm saying that. Like, this is going to be my first time with you all right now. So now I can go into this agents MD file. Let's make this a little bit smaller, hide the sidebar, paste this in, right? It's marked down. I'm going to render it so I can see it a bit better. What the hell? Is it not proper markdown? Is that why? Purpose. That's why I didn't do new lines and shit like that. It didn't quite format it the way I want, but it is what it is. Project overview. All right, so I got to do a little bit of formatting here, but you get the idea. I could have told it to like fix the formatting, but I'm just going to manually do it right now. I think it's getting the idea. We're getting closer, but you can see. So now it's starting to render better, right? Let's continue to fix this. This should be a new line. Why isn't it putting these? These is like, it's like a bolded list.
Oh snap. Uh-oh _
Ayo!
19 viewers. Oh snap. Uh-oh _ just raided us with 19 viewers.
What's up, Ayo?
There goes the channel. Uh-oh _ just raided with 19 odd ones. Welcome
Hey.
and thanks for joining today. Uh-oh _
You made us lose the board. No, all good. Thank you for the raid, Ayo. Welcome in everybody from Ayo Stream. Happy to have you here. I think many of you probably are familiar with us already, but in case you're not, I am Clarkio. This is the Clarkio Shenanigans Show. I stream on Twitch and YouTube every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every being the operative word there, kinda. And I've been working on this tool that helps with making the words on stream game a little bit more approachable to beginners and help out in the more advanced channels, but not take away from the fun and value of the game of trying to guess the words, that type of thing. So if that interests you and you like playing words on stream and or you like learning about software development, hope you stick around. If not, thanks for checking out the raid with Ayo here, and I hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. What did I miss in chat though? TypeScript Teton, maybe because it didn't have an agents.md file, it didn't want to run the command independent of the task being writing an agents.md file. Well, I think part of it was because of I asked it. I had the Copilot in this ask mode instead of edit or agent mode. So edit mode will make it will actually propose edits to files for you. So I guess if I would have done it in that way, it would have made changes to the agents.md file. But I was just trying to ask it to talk about like, what does it look like, that type of thing. And then agent mode is like even more, where it has even more autonomy. Where like, I mean, you still have control. Like you can tell it, to, like you can have it ask you before it runs commands in your terminal and that type of stuff. Whereas edit will not touch your terminal, and it will only make changes to existing files. I think maybe it may create new files. I forget the differentiation there, but it has more limited capabilities that it will automatically do. It proposes changes, that type of thing, whereas agent could make changes without proposing it like fully. So that's a slight difference there. What else did I miss in chat here? How's the progress going? It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I was talking about how I've been using AI to help me make more progress than I would have on my own, and using it as like a team of developers to work with me on this project. So it's been really fun. And then I was describing, people were asking about my workflow on how I did that between last stream and this stream. So that's what I was kind of talking through. You do the same, Ayo? Nice. Well, I'm curious to hear how you do it as well. Kylondo says, yeah, this has been so informative. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's my objective with these streams, is to entertain and educate. Now I see why junior dev jobs are no longer a thing. I think to some degree, well, we can talk about that, but I want to finish what we were talking about before. What extensions are you using in your VS Code? I use a lot. But the main one is GitHub Copilot, I'll tell you that. I use Sneak, which is from the company that I work for. It's a security tool to help identify vulnerabilities in like your open source dependencies that you use in your projects, and help identify vulnerabilities in the code that you write or maybe AI writes. It can help scan your project for that, along with many other things too that we have in there. But those are the top two I would call out for that. I use the GitHub extension to look at pull requests directly in VS Code, so I don't have to be going to github.com necessarily to do that. I can I'll show you. I click on this and you can see I have this one checked out right now. add alphabetical and default sorting toggle, that type of thing. Those I'd say are the main ones off the top of my head that I use. Prettier extension, I use that for formatting and styling and that type of thing. ESLint. What else do I have? I use Astro because my website and this tool is built with Astro for the front-end web development type side of things, static site building and rendering. This code metrics tool is pretty cool. It tells you like the complexity of the code functions that you have. So like,
an ad is about to start in 2 minutes on Twitch.
see this green, see that green box there? It's telling me like, and I hover over, it says complexity is 3, everything is cool, right? Whereas the class level, the complexity of the class is pretty high. It's red box. Let's go up here. And I hover over that, and it's like, you must be kidding.
Thanks for joining today, Manbrave.
It's kind of funny. Manbrave GG. Astro is my favorite framework. I'm with you, Manbrave. I love Astro. Because like Astro makes it where it's like, who cares what front-end framework you use? You can use whatever you want with Astro, or you could just use Astro. The complexity tool I use is called Code Metrics. This one right here. ESLint, some themes and icon themes that I use there. Some Python stuff from back in the day.
To start in 1 minute on Twitch.
I haven't done Python in a while, though, I'll tell you that much. Probably not since working with Cecil. Prettier. More themes. Oh, I love the to-do. This to-do extension is my favorite to-do extension. It's called To-Do Plus, made by Fabio. So what that does is it lets me, one, have a to-do list like this that has these checkboxes, and then I can, there's keyboard shortcuts that can mark them as checked and done, and then I can archive them, as you can see here. So like with this one I can do, let's say I finished this.
Manbrave followed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manbrave.
So I press like Alt D to mark that as done, or toggle that whether I did it or not, and then Control Shift A to archive it. Those are the only two shortcuts I really know with it. But if I wanted to, I can put to-do lists in the code as well, and then I can look at all of them in one single pane view. So here's the to-do list from file, and then if I had any embedded like in here, let's say I added, I don't know.
The ad is starting now and will
Do
180 seconds.
I gotta make it a comment. To do remove all of these variables, right? I don't know, I could do like that, and you see it pops up in here now, and then I can just jump. So let's say I forget that I put that one there. Now I can go to the to-do extension. It finds that in the code, and then I can go right to that and see what it was doing and go right into the context of that to-do, right? And I can manage it from here too, I think. Can I delete it? No, I can't. So I have to delete it from here. It just helps you navigate your to-dos this way in that view. I think that pretty much, what was the last one? Oh, I built this one. I used to, I built both of these actually. So this lets you log into Twitch via VS Code's like login capabilities, and then that lets you use my extension and Michael Jolly Old Bearded Builders extension. I think it was Twitch Steamer he uses for logging into Twitch. So there you go. That's a very quick and brief rundown of my extensions I use. Most of them are themes and icon themes, that I'll tell you. And I kind of called out the ones that I actually use most often though. All right. What else? What else, chat? What else you got for me? Good conversation. Appreciate everybody. Thank you again for that follow, Manbrave GG. Yeah, no problem, Kylondo. Dang. Level 6 gotchas. Okay, so it is best to pre-configure linters. I think so. What else did I miss in chat from earlier? That is a good way to do it. Small blocks, not a whole module. Yes. I mean, if you think about it, Kylondo, like general software development best practices, software development lifecycle procedures, at least when you're working at big enterprises, like you want to keep things piecemeal and small. So like even if I'm the one writing the code, instead of me making a pull request or merge request that has like, 50 files that have changes in them, and then the rest of the team has to try and review that, that's super time consuming, right? So you want to minimize that as much as possible to make life easier for the rest of your teammates. The other aspect of that is like, if you think about it, let's say you were responsible for you were responsible for reviewing and approving or denying pull requests from other teammates. Are you more likely to approve and merge a pull request that only changes maybe 1 to 3 files, or are you more likely to approve and merge in a change that involves like 50 files, right? I think we know the answer to that. So we have to have that same kind of mentality with AI code development tools of like, don't make it do everything for you all at once. Work with it iteratively, That's been my experience too. Anytime I give it like a one-shot prompt to do anything and everything, it can do okay, but it doesn't do it up to par with what I would want. Just in time for this perfect timing. What was that, JT? Kylondo. Oh, I did it again. Nice job, JT. Great clip. Great clip. What's the matter, Bao? Bauer just like pushed on my door. So reach out to OpenAI for sponsoring a Codex learning series, or do it yourself. Yeah, I'd probably do it myself. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if they have. I don't know if they would have folks that would handle that. What else did I miss in chat? I feel like I missed a lot from earlier. TypeScript was asking about my workflow too. I still need to finish going through that, so I will. I'm happy to continue that, unless you all got the idea of like how I go about doing that. I like agentic coding when I know what I want to build, but I do not have to write all the base/beginner boilerplate. Yes, it's definitely beneficial for that. Like I haven't had to write boilerplate code in so long now. Do we need a paint drawing? Maybe May. Alleycat says, I may use this in future. Is that, if that is okay? Use what? The Alleycat, are you still there? I don't remember what that was in reference to. Was that, if that was to the words on stream tool, then yes, absolutely. Oh, that's interesting. What's the difference between Pet M and Pet B? Well, I used to have another dog, Max, but he passed away just last year. Actually, around this time, about a month ago. It was a year last month that he passed away. So you're kind of petting him in doggy heaven from that. Okay, I think I'm caught up from that point in chat. Oh yeah, I remember you had another dog, but didn't know about these commands. Yeah. You missed my Automod message. I did see something about it, but I didn't see anything come up from Automod that was blocking a message from you, Ayo. I saw you mention Automod, but I didn't see anything like around that context. Let me double check. I guess it disappears after a while, doesn't it? I did miss some more messages I'm seeing here. Why didn't they show up in this chat room? Let me double check on the Twitch side. I'm using the streamer bot Twitch unified chat. And sometimes it like doesn't, it gets a little buggy. Manbrave GG says, yeah, Astro is amazing, great for SEO too, and with Markdown, MDX makes it easy to blog to. Yes. Although even though I used to blog more, I haven't had a blog post since like 2019. But yes, exactly. So awesome. AO says, think about the idea with Claude. Create a fat PRD in a Markdown, and then phase the process to ensure we don't break anything, and then ensure we update the MD with updates done on that day to get ready for the next chat and so on. Yes. So let me put it, this is the other thing. Like, there's tons of tools out there, and I think a lot of questions people have, and when I mean tools, I mean like AI tools. I've bounced around between them. Like I used to subscribe to Claude, and then I switched to OpenAI for a number of reasons. But Claude is fantastic. Like, well, Anthropic's models tend to be, it's like every day a new one takes the lead. But Anthropic's models for coding tend to be like the leading ones, the best ones out there. So I was subscribing to them for a while, but then I switched to OpenAI because I wanted to be able to do recurring tests. I wanted like the AI, like for instance, I wanted the AI to go to a website and check for something on that website and report it to me every week. And there's no capability to do that with Claude. Like, Claude's behind in that regard, whereas Claude's like ahead when it comes to the sophistication of their models being really accurate, right? It's kind of wild. So it's like you got to pick and choose what is it like you're trying to do, and that'll help you decide which one to subscribe to instead of having to subscribe to all of them. I've heard of, there's very niche things in the market that are in the open source world, or they're little small paid things that will give you access to like everything, which is why I also subscribe to GitHub Copilot, because then I could use all the models that I want through them to some degree. So those are the two, to make it simple, the two things that I subscribe to is GitHub Copilot, but you can use that for free. So I'm considering stopping that, honestly, because the free tier probably is good enough for my use cases. And then OpenAI through ChatGPT. And like I said, the reason I switched to OpenAI is now it's two reasons. It's one, it was because I wanted to be able to do recurring tasks, and then like I tell it to do something, I give it the details of what I want it to do, simple stuff, and then it does that on a frequent recurring like cron job. Think of it as like building your own cron job, but through AI. And then now with Codex Cloud in particular, Codex CLI sucks. Codex CLI, I recorded a video on this. I don't know how I feel about publishing it, but because it's very opinionated. I think it sucks though. I mean, in all fairness, Codex CLI is in like beta. They just every day they release they just released today 0.5.0. The problem I have with Codex CLI is that for you to use it, you have to have it's almost like you have it's like a separate account almost from ChatGPT or OpenAI account, because you're leveraging, when it comes to Codex CLI, you're leveraging their AI API, and it interacts with OpenAI via the API instead of via their like web services that they have, like Codex Cloud or ChatGPT.com or their Sora image generation stuff. So as a result of that, it kind of, even though it's the same account, it behaves separately and has different restrictions on it than it does when it comes to using their API, than it does when it comes to using their other services and interfaces. So what I ran into was when I was trying to use Codex CLI, I couldn't use their modern models, O3 or O4 Mini or anything like that, and it was giving me some generic error. And as I dug deeper, it was because my organization is not verified. My organization, my developer, you create like almost like it's a developer account for their API, and you have to create an organization for your projects, and then you put projects within that organization, and you have to have payment capabilities on there for them to bill you for your use of the API, which is understandable. No problem or qualms there. So they have all my billing information already, right? But then in order to verify the organization, they want you to, and so that's the only way you can use their modern models through their API is by having further verification on your organization. And the way they want verification of you is by this third-party partner that they have that they redirect you to, and that third-party partner wants you to use on your phone. They give you a QR code or a link, and they want you to use on your phone to take a picture of your government ID. And I was like, hell no, I'm not giving, you already have a ton of information on me, and now you want to have my like license, my government ID with all my information and date of birth, address, which they, in a way, they already have my address because of billing details, right? I'm like, hell no. And my license ID number? No way. I'm not doing, like, just for me to try it out. I'm not even like fully using it. They want it for verification purposes. I understand why they're doing it, but I think it's a deterrent for people like me that's like, I already feel like you're invading my privacy as it is with the amount of information you want on me. Like, to sign up for an account, you need to give them a real phone number, right? So I was like, I'm stopping here. I'm not making this video any further, unfortunately. So I haven't really gotten a chance to try Codex CLI, which is just another way of using Codex. And I'm using it in the cloud here, as I was showing you all today. They're doing it in KYC related thingy. What do you mean by KYC? Hey, yo. I have like free Copilot Pro subscription for some reason. Do you, Rugman? That's cool. The thing is, Cursor is pretty good. Yes, Cursor is very good. Absolutely. I would say Cursor is kind of like, for a developer, it's a good all-in-one type of subscription, which is another reason why I was considering dropping my GitHub Copilot subscription and switching to Cursor, because Cursor also has agents that you can do, background agents that you run. You can you interface with them from the IDE, from Cursor IDE directly, or you could do it from the cloud. However, I've found that doing it from the cloud has not been, the user experience has not been as smooth as OpenAI's Codex Cloud. So that's kind of why I've been leaning more on OpenAI in that regard. But yeah, so if somebody was asking me today, I would probably say Cursor, getting access to all the models that way through one subscription. And that way they can continue doing their development and do that. And then if they want to have the capability of doing more agentic stuff, they could still do that through Cursor. They could try that out. And if they don't like that, I would say try ChatGPT Codex rather, through OpenAI. Those are the two things I would recommend to people to subscribe to at this point in time. Now, I say that I say at this point in time because every day, every week, there's new announcements and changes going on in this space. It's both exciting and overwhelming at the same time. So keep that in mind. So you're still working on the alpha? Yeah, the alpha version of Codex CLI. Is that what you mean? Oh, you said ASS. That's why you got auto modded. I see. Hey, yo. I got you now, though. I'm full Cursor / Claude, but goddamn Cursor is being expensive AF. Right. Well, Claude is expensive too. Like, Claude Code is really good. Claude Code is their CLI tool, and I think you can use that in an agentic way, right? But I hear people talking about how that racks up their bill quite a bit. In fact, somebody at my job was telling me that they were using it on the side and they were having it in agentic mode, and it ended up, and all they wanted to do was fix a unit test or something like that, and it got stuck in an infinite loop and racked up their bill to be like $200 or something like that. So that's another reason why I'm leaning away. I've leaned away from Claude Code. So there you have it. That's everything. So in terms of workflow, also Kaylondo, Cecil got back to me, says, he said, I love that. I hope they're doing well. So there you have it. Yes, he's doing well. I'll let him know that you said that. AO says, I go through my 500 requests in like a day or two. Dang. Manbrave says, only 500 rookie numbers? It's the max you got now that they downgraded you? Yeah, they made you downgrade. Yeah. All right, chat. Let's play Until You Fail words on stream again. While you're doing that, I'll finish talking through if Kailondo and TypeScript Tea Timer is still interested in hearing more about my workflow. I forget where I left off with that, but I think you kind of get the gist of it. I don't know if there's more for me to share about that. So I implement it like this. All this typically happens from my phone, okay, or a browser. And I'm just talking to it, I'm telling it to do these things, make changes, and then some point later on, whether it's later on that day or in the future from it, I then bring this into my development environment and try it out. And that's kind of the flow I go through. The one thing I just ran into an issue with, though, Codex, which is understandable, is if I push any changes to the branch that it originally made, basically I can no longer work with this within this conversation. No, I can work within this conversation with Codex, but it detects that changes were made that it wasn't aware of before, like that it didn't make itself, and it made me create a new PR for any future changes, essentially. So that's one thing, though. One little like hiccup I would say to watch out for is like if you do pull down the changes it made and start making your own modifications and push those changes to the branch, and then you want it to go off and work off of that branch even further, it's going to end up wanting to actually create a new branch and new PR for those future changes. So I would say basically it sounds, the gist I get out of that, or what I learned from it, is talk with this thing to do as much as I want it to do, and then when I'm ready to do some changes myself, then I end this task with it, do my changes, and if I want more after that, then I got to start up a new task, essentially, you know? That seems to be the workflow around that kind of limitation that it has. Outside of that, I think that covers everything with that workflow. So it's sign into your OpenAI ChatGPT account, go over to Codex, so chatgpt.com/Codex. We're looking at my archive tasks, right? So here are my active tasks that I'm working on with it. Once it's merged, so this will show you right here if it's merged. And so then when I see it's merged, I archive it. And that was it. So I go on my phone, I'm sitting around, maybe I have an idea maybe I'm watching something and it sparks an idea for a feature or something like that, you know? And then I could just go on my phone via the Chat GPT app and boom, talk to it, tell it to do that, let it do its thing. I can review the changes on my phone, but I feel more confident in the changes by testing it out first and running it on my desktop or a laptop, you know? But this to me truly, so the video I made around this too, it truly leads us to the point where we can develop from anywhere. So there's that aspect of it, because that's always been the case, that we could develop from anywhere because of like cloud development environments such as GitHub code spaces, or, you know, and being able to attach to those environments in the cloud from an iPad or a phone, right? But those devices, or tablet rather, I should say, because maybe you don't have an iPad. But those devices are not really conducive for coding on. Like, I'm not going to sit on my phone, you know, and type on this tiny little screen writing code. I make mistakes typing text messages. So I'm absolutely gonna make mistakes typing code syntax, right? So what this means to me is I really can make significant progress from mobile devices now when I'm away from my desktop or when I don't have a laptop on me wherever I am, you know? So that's really exciting to me. And there was another aspect of it too that I was excited about, but I forget now. So it's like you get to be able to, oh, the other aspect. So you get to be able to truly, okay. So those are the two like major benefits and changes I see for the industry right now with these cloud agents. Truly coding anywhere you are and really improving your efficiency and productivity. I was able to get these four like before they get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6. Yeah, so it was six different tasks that I gave it within a matter of minutes, and then it spun off different environments for each of those. Each of these are different environments too. Like I guess it's spinning up a VM on their end in the cloud or whatever. And then it works within that isolated environment to make the changes on a branch separate from your main branch. You know what I'm saying? So within minutes, it starts doing all that. And then I go about my business. I could be on the toilet. I could be farting. And I'll be coding at the same time. I have code being worked on. It's freaking amazing. Exactly. TypeScript tea time. So I'm really fired. If you can't tell, I mean, I'm pretty tired right now, but I'm fired up about what's possible with this. That's like truly, like all this time I've been using and tinkering with AI for about the past year to year and a half. I called for it. Yes, TypeScript tea time. I've been tinkering with this stuff for about a year and a half, and to see it get to this point, it's like really like, now it's starting to be like I think a tipping point in the direction of like, holy cow, this really is gonna have a huge impact on the industry. Not in a bad way, I want to say. So let's go into that conversation before, you know, again, I'll keep streaming until you all fail a level, all right? And while you all are playing, I'll keep talking about this, what I've been feeling and discovering with AI coding assistant tools and how it's going to impact our industry. I've talked in the past that like if you're not using AI coding tools, you really are falling behind with this, in the sense of, what do I mean by that? Like if you know how to code and you're really good at coding, you're not falling behind in that regard. I don't mean that at all. Like, and I think it's very important to have that skill set and knowledge to be able to do that yourself without any assistance from AI. But I think more and more companies are going to not rely solely on just that from people. They're going to rely on people that can do that and leverage AI to get more shit done. Whether I agree with it or not, I think this is just what's happening. Like it's the writing is on the wall to me. From everything I hear, see, read, like that's where everything's leading towards. It's not like a fad or something that's just going to go away. Like, so things that I think are bad about it, like think about all the compute power it takes to run these models, to like generate an image, or, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like that to me is a bad aspect of all this, right? We're not thinking, when I say we're not, there are people definitely thinking about this, but as a whole, in general, I don't think a lot of people are even aware of how all this is made possible and what's the cost of it, the true cost of it. The amount of energy being consumed to run this stuff, right? So that's definitely a negative aspect of it that I'm not naive to. It can affect your productivity. I find the AI helps me get stuff done faster and with better documentation. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Does it always get everything? Does it always get things right? Does it always write good code? Does it always write code that doesn't have security vulnerabilities in it? Hell no. Look at all the videos I've made on the Sneak YouTube channel. Oh, you all failed. Level 16. I think that's the highest we got today. Nice job. PC Boy Games, May, AO, Rugmat Bot, and Deparvin. I'm happy you all were playing and got to level 16. I think that was a personal best today. Right? Maybe, maybe not. On that note, though, we're going to switch to start wrapping things up. Level 20 was highest. Oh, okay. Thanks, May. I'm glad you keep track of that. We got to build that into the tool. I'll probably do that while I'm going to the bathroom later. I'll have OpenAI Codex do it for me. What was I talking about? So yeah, there are definitely negative aspects to AI. But I just don't, even with those negative aspects, I don't see it stopping. The powers that be that are pushing in this direction and the momentum that it has, there's no blocking that momentum enough or significantly or diverting it in a way that's gonna like completely halt it type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Word count before I leave? Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that while you just bring it up, because otherwise I'll forget. We are at 9,417 words. Weren't we around there before? 9,417? Rainbow overlay. I like that. That's a great name for it. Ayo. 9,417. I forget what it was before, though, May. Maybe you remember. You got better memory than me. Department says, nope, there are a lot of times when it suggests doing something out of left field, and it keeps trying to do that over and over. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, there are definitely times where this stuff is not perfect. It's not like... This is why I don't think people are worried about like it replacing developers in software engineering. I don't think that's going to happen straight up like that because of the current state of things. Could it ever get to the point where it can code for us and we don't need software engineers? Maybe, but even if that is the world we end up living in, I really think about the scenario I was just talking about now. We have coding agent spin-off run and do 6 different tasks for us. Okay? 1, you need to be able to speak the language so that to implement those changes. Like if you're just speaking in layman's terms without any technical insight into it, you're not necessarily going to get the best results. Will you get to where you want to go? Yeah, there's a strong likelihood that you could do that, but you don't know if it's going to introduce bad things behind the scenes. You won't be able to identify that. And that's the second aspect of it, right? So on the front end, having technical background and skill set is going to help you provide the right details to these tools so that they can effectively implement the tasks and execute on those tasks that you're looking for it to do. And then secondly, you have to have those skills to review the output of these things to make sure that it is doing things in a proper way and fulfilling, what we talked about before. Did it fulfill the need of the tasks that it was set out to do? Did it do that in a way that follows best practices and patterns? Did it do that in a way that follows the style guides that you have for your project? Did it make sure not to introduce any security vulnerabilities or bugs that you didn't have prior to those changes? You know, that type of thing. You need background and skill set to review, along with maybe other tools like Sneak. Little quick plug there. Hashtag not an end, hashtag not sponsored. But you need tools like that can help you with it, right? And automate that aspect of it too. So I think that, to me, that's what I see right now is the future with AI coding. Is the engineering role is gonna morph into more of like more people being like tech leads that have to review, have to assign, that have to architect projects, assign tasks, and review tasks like that are done by these tools. That's what I'm feeling like, and I'm pretty. I don't know. For me at the stage of my career right now, I'm excited about that. But maybe, maybe that's a privilege because I'm in that position right now. I've already broken into the industry and have had a ton of experience in past roles and current role of doing engineering type work, and so I know how to speak the language. I know how to look out for things, and even with that, the other aspect of that. Well, let me preface it with, or let me caveat that is that like I don't know everything. I'm not perfect either. And so I might miss stuff in reviewing the code that this thing does. And I mean, to me, that's no different than a human writing the code though, too. That happens to this day. So I do think people that, when we were talking about entry-level jobs, I think the entry-level jobs are going to change. It's going to be more like, are you newer to prompting AI coding tools and how to write those well in a way that you can get the task accomplished efficiently by the AI tools, right? Stuff like that. Are you knowledgeable enough in engineering to be able to do that type of stuff? So maybe you don't have as much, hands-on coding experience, but you have more experience with these tools that make you efficient, right? That type of thing. So I do think there's still value in studying and learning and getting an education, however you approach that, whether it's getting a degree or self-taught or something somewhere in the middle, when it comes to computer science, engineering, that type of stuff. So that's my 2 cents, but I'm sure in the very near future that could change. So take that as it is with a grain of salt, but hopefully that gives you a little bit more, a little more peace of mind maybe for the industry. Department says developers will change to designers. Yeah, I think that's a succinct way to kind of say it. Yeah. May says same number, no new words this stream. Okay, fair enough. AO says can test. I don't know what I'm doing. Still created my whole app and got it on the store, but overall it is probably bad code. That could be the case. And you know what? Even before then though, let's call this out, okay? Even before the current state that things are in right now, like let's say AI is just definitely producing bad code all around and never produces any good code, okay? There are human beings that produce bad code in products that are successful and doing well. I mean, why do you think these big hacks happen all the time? So anyway, I'm just saying that's something else to consider. AO says, but then again, I have been building product for the past 18 years-ish, so I understand product but not code. Yeah, that's exactly. Department says, yep, I treat it as a programming team, and the AI reviews what I do, and I review what it does, and together we get it done better, faster, and more secure. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the succinct way I like to say, like when the whole vibe coding thing was like really, really blowing up, is you really want to be basically, when it comes to using AI tools, you need to be leading the AI. The AI should not be leading you. If the AI is leading you, then that you're not to say that you can't do that, because people are clearly doing that. That's definitely happening. But there's the chances of things going wrong, I think, are greater if the AI is leading you versus you leading the AI as a developer or building software and products, software and services, right? So, all right, good conversation today, everybody. Fun stuff, and we got we kind of got stuff done technically, but I had fun. I know I went off on a tangent and got a little distracted with that, but I really am fired up about these cloud agents. Basically, I think that's That's the precise way to put it. Cloud agents, whether it's cursors, agents, OpenAI's Codex, Google Jules, Claude Code in the CLI. It's pretty interesting and fun stuff. And I see a lot of possibility there. My biggest thing is like I'm able to make more progress than I would because I'm only ever working on this project on stream. Sometimes in the rare occasion prior to this, I would kind of have some time that I would cut out and I'd be like really fired up and motivated to write some code. But that was like few and far between. So this kind of, I see a lot of value. In it. All right. Anyway, on that note, we're going to start wrapping up. This has been fantastic. I'm glad to have you all here today. I will not be here for the next 2 Fridays. The next stream will be August 1st. Okay? So a heads up on that. I will be around. The best way to stay in touch is via the Discord, !Discord in the chat if you want the link to that, or you just go straight up to my website, clarkio.com/Discord for that invite there. And you'll be able to stay in touch, see any updates to the schedule. Maybe, just in case something happens and I can't stream on August 1st, you'll know there first. That'll be the place to find out. If you are watching over on YouTube and you've enjoyed the stream and you made it this far, like it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on upcoming streams. And if you're over on Twitch and you've been kind of lurking in the background, or maybe you've even been chatting and you haven't followed the stream yet and you've gotten value out of this today, follow the channel, please. Would greatly appreciate that. It's a great free way to support me. I don't do this for any financial purposes. I have a day job. I do this because I genuinely enjoy doing it, and I appreciate the community on here. So like folks that want to support me, I encourage it that way more so than any other way. Follow, like, subscribe. Kylondo says, thank you so much, Clarkio. This was very informative. I'm glad to hear that, Kylondo. I passed all that along to Cecil. He's very happy to hear that, and that's awesome. Thank you for reminding me about that too. It's cool. Latjor, forgot about that. So yes, no streams next Friday or the Friday after, but I'll be back on August 1st. On that note, though, appreciate you all. Thank you all for the follows, the raids, the subscriptions, the resubs, doing the channel point redemptions and that type of thing, and just chatting and playing Words on Stream with me. Just playing Words on Stream alone is a huge help. Actually, one more call to action for you. Okay, one more request. If you like playing Words on Stream and you like the tool I built, let me show you before we go. If you like playing Words on Stream and you like the tool I built, one way you can actually help is while you're in other people's streams, I'm not telling you, do not promote it. I'm not asking, because other people, there are certain Words on Stream people that are like very purists on how they play Words on Stream, and they don't want tools like this, which is fine. It's understandable. And I'm telling you this, I'm prefacing this because I feel like people are getting banned from other Words on streamers channels because they talk about other streamers or they talk about a tool like this. So don't go doing that. I'm not requesting you to do it, but what you can help is when you're playing, if you're using it on your own, okay, while you're in somebody else's stream and you're playing Words on Stream, hook up this tool to that so that it can help add to the Words on Stream dictionary that we're building through this tool. So the way, if you didn't pick up on this, the way the words missed gets figured out at the end of the round, it leverages a dictionary that we're building out behind the scenes. So as you play the game more, it'll find new words that we haven't captured yet and store it in our dictionary. Okay? And the idea behind that is it'll help us that when you miss words on a level, at the end of the level, it'll educate you on the words that you missed, maybe that you know already and you just didn't think of for those letters, or new words that you never heard of before, and you can go look up the definition and educate yourself that way. Okay? So you can go check it out. You go to clarkio.com/WOS/assist. Link I will drop in the chat right now, actually. And I'm going to show you how to set it up so that you can do this, okay? Because it's not really, I need to work on improving this to make it easier. So you go there, you click on this little arrow here to expand this area, okay? And then when you're in another Twitch streamer's stream, a lot of times they'll share the mirror link for the Words on Stream game that they're playing. You get that, you paste it in here, and then you just put their Twitch channel name. So let's say this one's for Clarkio, and then the one that I pinned to the for this one, I paste the full link in here. See, it's like https://wos.gg/r/ a bunch of numbers and letters. Okay, so you put the full URL in there. You just put the Twitch username in here for the channel that you're joining, and then you click connect for both. Connect WoS, connect Twitch, and then you'll see that it'll show the level that you're on and all that, and you'll be good to go and ready. And then just by doing that, you're going to help and support this tool to make it even better. You're going to improve the tool by using it. Okay. So that's my last thing. All right, now I'm really going to leave. How many South Americans does it take to change a light bulb? A Brazilian. Nice. Yeah, no problem, Kailando. Thank you for being here and for your kind words. TypeScript Tea Time says, thanks for the stream. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May says, did you happen to see my comment on the last video you posted? I did. I will respond shortly. I try to space it out because I feel like the algorithm, if I space out the comments a little bit more instead of responding immediately, that maybe it will help boost the channel too. That's another thing I've been doing, May. But thank you for doing that. I really appreciate your support there as well, May. It's very kind of you. All right, I think on that note, I'm all caught up with chat messages. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I did get a laugh out of your comment too, May. So that comment that you put on there. No need to respond. No, I'm going to respond. It helps the channel if I respond too. So thank you, though. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Stay thinking about your wins of the week. Okay, every Friday, even if we're not streaming, think about them, reflect on the week, find something positive that happened so that you don't just focus on the negative. Okay, and I'll see you on August 1st and in the Discord. All right, peace out, everybody.